Well, hi, everybody. Welcome back to Veterans Stadium. Chris Wheeler with Jay Johnstone and Gary Maddox. And here are the Sherwin-Williams starting lineups for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Lonnie Smith leads off in left field. Jay Bell, the shortstop, will bat second. Andy Van Slyke in center field. Jeff King is the third baseman. Boyd McClendon in right field. Kevin Young, a new player, at first base. Catching and batting seventh, Don Slott. At second base, another young player, Carlos Garcia. On the mound, the veteran right-hander, Bob Waugh.
And for the team of the best baseball, Kruk at first, Morandini at second, Duncan at short, yesterday's hero, Hollins at third, Thompson, Dykstra, Chamberlain in the outfield, Dalton behind the dish, and Danny Jackson on the mound.
There is Danny Jackson. You see the numbers on him. He's a 6-foot, 205-pounder. Danny, 31 years of age, out of San Antonio, Texas. Taken by Kansas City, #1 in the January 1982 free agent draft. Against the Pittsburgh Pirates, lifetime, Danny is 2-1 with an earned run average of 3.78 in 10 games. He, of course, pitched for the Pirates for half of last year after going over there in a trade for Steve Bouchel with the Chicago Cubs.
Of course, he had a pretty good injury, Chris. He had a groin pull. It bothered him all the way up until September, and it hampered his style of pitching, his being able to really let loose with a fastball, and consequently, he's healed from that and pitching like he did a couple years ago.
Here are the umpires for the ball game tonight. Behind the plate, Greg Bonin at first base, the crew chief, Terry Tata, at second base, rookie umpire Wally Bell, and at third base, great to have him back, our good friend Eric Gregg from West Philadelphia. And here we go with another old Philly. Lonnie Smith leads it off for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And Jackson's first pitch is fouled off. The Pirates have won 2 in a row and 3 out of their last 4. And Lonnie platooning right now in left field with Al Martin, who's a left-handed batter.
Well, it's great to have the experience of Lonnie Smith being able to come off the bench of platoon, being around over 10 years, runner-up to Dale Murphy, 1982 MVP. He's got a lot of experience he could pass on to these young guys, Chris.
And he's batting .314, Jay, in his last 9 starts playing out there in left field, batting at a .345 clip, 10 in his last 29 at-bats. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Lonnie Smith. And Danny Jackson using his slider early tonight. Misses with another one there, 2-2. Danny coming off a rough outing last time, losing 11-2 to the Giants on the 5th of this month. And the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss at a good fastball, and Lonnie Smith is gone. Jackson had 1 walk and 2 strikeouts in 4 1/3 innings in his last outing.
Chris, he's got to use that good slider to set up the fastball, and he's got to keep the slider down and in. As you can see, the fastball, a little bit of movement going away from Lonnie Smith, but it was all set up by that good hard slider down and in out of the strike zone.
And here comes Jay Bell, who's been a hot hitter. He's hit safely in 7 straight at a .310 clip, batting at .322 overall. And Jackson gets it over for a strike. Lifetime, Jay Bell against Danny Jackson, a .455 hitter with no homers and a run batted in. Bell recently got a big contract from the Pirates, so they expect to have him around for a while. Changeup and a swing and a miss, 0-2. Jay Bell has yet to make an error in his first 28 games, and the Pirates have played very well defensively.
Yes, they have. In fact, that big contract you're talking about with Jay Bell is due to the fact that last year he led all the major league shortstops in assists, chances, putouts, double plays, and a few other things to go along with that. So Bell off to another good start.
Yeah, Jane, it was one of those situations where the Pirates have let so many guys go that I think they had to show their fans that they're going to keep somebody, and they certainly have rewarded both Bell and Andy Van Slyke.
Well, that's the heart of your defense, the center field catcher, shortstop, and second base situation. The young kid Garcia taking over and showing that he has better range than the former Pirates second baseman, Jose Lean. So when you have good defense, and the Pirates do have good defense, as you mentioned, that's a significant part of the way you play the game.
Hard to believe he has better range than Lean, as good as he was. Strike, 3, call. Jay Bell didn't like it, but he's gone, and Danny Jackson starts this game with back-to-back strikeouts.
We'll pick up the pitch for you. Jackson lets it fly. It's that fastball on the inside corner. It had a little bit of movement. You see Bell kind of backing up. He thought it was inside, but it got a good part of the plate.
And Andy Van Slyke, the batter, 6 straight for Andy, hitting at a .440 clip and .294 overall. Lifetime against Danny Jackson, 7 for 21 at .333. Strike call. Jackson getting ahead of the hitters. Jackson in that last outing against the Giants at Candlestick, it seemed like everything he threw at one point, the Giants hit it somewhere, and it was a base hit. And he only lasted 4 1/3 innings. 8 hits, 6 earned runs against Jackson. This is a little low. 1 ball, 1 strike to Andy Van Slyke with Jeff King on deck, a right-handed batter batting in the cleanup spot. There are Slick's numbers against left-handers and right-handers.
It's not too
left-handers,
bad, huh?
I mean, in different years. This year down a little bit at .244. He's really gotten a lot better against left-handed pitching.
I'm going to tell you, he's probably one of the top 3 best outfielders in the National League. You look at the numbers he keeps putting up on the board, you wonder why St. Louis ever let this kid get away. I know they needed to make that trade for a catcher. Wow.
Bounces a breaking ball. Well, Van Slyke hit a game-tying home run against the against the Expos on Saturday night at Pittsburgh. Pirates won that game in extra innings, and then he won the game yesterday in extra innings with a base hit off Brian Barnes in the 11th. So Andy Van Slyke had a heck of a weekend for the Pirates. 2-2. Little tapper right out to Jackson, who's a good fielder, and he throws him out, and Danny has a strong first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Phil's bat, bottom of the first, no score.
Any professional painter will tell you that if you want results like these, you gotta know the tricks of the trade. You gotta ask Sherwin-Williams. Now, these are guys you can trust. They've got good paint, good price, good advice. Guaranteed. Want to know something? I didn't paint this house. The guy that lives there did. Hey, fella, nice job. This guy knows what the pros know. Ask Sherwin-Williams.
Trouble with heartburn? Well, you could change your job, change your lifestyle, change your diet.
A bon appetit.
Or better still, reach for Rolaids. It absorbs acid fast to bring 100% relief to millions. So maybe you can't change your life, but you can get relief in original and calcium rich. Rolaids spells relief.
Hey, kid, how about a float?
The frosty mug taste of an A&W root beer float. It really brings back memories.
Dad?
A&W, our frosty mug taste brings you back.
Time now for your Sherwin-Williams starting lineup for the Phillies. Lenny Dykstra leads off in center field. Mickey Morandini at second base. John Kruk, the first baseman. In the cleanup spot, Dave Hollins. Behind the plate and batting fifth, Aaron Dalton. Wes Chamberlain in right field. He'll hit sixth. Milt Thompson in left field bats seventh. Mariano Duncan, the hero of yesterday's game. The shortstop bats eighth. On the mound, Danny Jackson, the left-hander, and the manager of the ball club, Jim Fregosi.
And for the Pirates on defense, by the way, they're second in the National League in defense with only 18 errors. At first base, Kevin Young, a rookie. Another rookie, Carlos Garcia, second. Jay Bell, premier shortstop. Jeff King at third base. In the outfield, Lonnie Smith, former Philly, and Andy Van Slyke in center. Lloyd McClendon in right behind the dish. Don Slott, and on the mound, Whirlybird, former Philly, and a man from Moon, Bobby Walk.
There he is, 6'3", 217 pounds. Bob Walk, now 36 years of age, out of Van Nuys, California. Phil's drafted him in June of 1976 and then traded him to the Atlanta Braves on the 25th of March of 1981 for Gary Matthews. And here comes Lenny Dykstra to lead it off. Dykstra batting at .233. He has had a lot of success against Bob Walk. A .424 lifetime hitter against Walk. 14 hits and 33 at-bats for Dykstra.
Well, I guess Lenny's looking to improve his average a little more today.
A lot of these Phillies left-handed batters have good numbers off Walk, who starts him with that big overhand curveball. Dykstra didn't like the call. It's over for strike one. It'll be Dykstra, Morandini, and Kruk to face Bob Walk. 3-2 with a 4.46 ERA. Walk making his 7th start of the year. Big batting, .286 against him. This is inside. 1 ball, 1 strike on Dykstra.
To give you an idea, last year, Chris walked 10 and 6 with the Pirates, but right-handers only hit 218 off him for an average, but the left-handers creamed him at a 289 clip. Left-handers had a lot better view of that fastball coming from the three-quarter position.
Phillies have had 5 straight left-handed batters coming at him, then Chamberlain, and then another left-handed hitter in Milt Thompson. Dykstra fouls it off, the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Lenny, who's hitting at a 304 clip in his last 10 games and batted .357 against these Pittsburgh Pirates last year.
Walk's not going to dazzle with speed. He gets it up there 82 to 84 miles an hour, but he's got a fastball, a curve, a slider, and a change, and he mixes them all up, changes speeds on all of them, and he tries to nibble a lot.
And he is one tough competitor.
Actually, I think he's a better pitcher now because he's at the point of his career. He really doesn't care. He's more relaxed, and he knows that he's going to have his ups and downs in this game.
Fouled out away. Fouled out of play, that is, down the left field line.
If he gets knocked out of a game, he doesn't let it bother him. He doesn't take it home. He comes back and pitches just as good and hard the next time out.
Won game number 1 of the 1980 World Series as you look at the leaders in runs scored. To look at Bonds and Williams. And no, he's not here tonight. Barry Bonds. It seems funny not seeing him in a Pittsburgh uniform.
Yes.
At least the Phillies have seen him 4 times this year.
I think the Giant fans are thankful of that, though. He really has set that team afire out there. Not only the team, but he's got the town and the fans buzzing and showing up in droves, which normally Candlestick Park sometimes is like a morgue during the middle of the week.
Giants with a half-game lead over Houston. National League West. Ball hit to the left field. Fairly deep, and Lonnie Smith has a beat on it. Waits, grabs it, 1 away. And Mickey Morandini, the batter. Morandini has a little hamstring pull in his left leg, and it's more nagging than anything. He thinks he can play through it, and the Phillies just hoping he doesn't make it worse because he's playing such great defense. See his average only at .210, but Morandini swinging the bat, I think, a little bit better than those numbers indicate, and doing a good job in that 2-hole against right-handed pitching. There's Jim Leyland setting the defense, and that pitch is over for a strike. There's the manager of the Pirates, and a good one he is, with Bill Verdon standing there beside him. Speaking of 1980, Verdon was the manager of the Houston Astros in that series against the Phils.
You know, if Leyland finishes anywhere above 3rd this year, they ought to enshrine him. Any manager that has to take 8 rookies and put them on his club. Usually an organization will try and fit 1 rookie in per year. They gave Leyland 8 rookies this year and said, here's your club. Go to it.
He only lost for Draybeck and Barry Bonds this year. I mean, that's no big deal, among others. What the heck? I mean, that's not much of a loss. Here's Morandini whacking one off his foot.
Ow.
That hammy, by the way, the hamstring he has is in his left leg.
You can tell by the big ace bandage that's underneath his uniform there. You can see how bigger his left leg is than his right.
Fouls off Walk's pitch, out of play. Morandini's a .364 lifetime hitter against Bob Walk. As you look at that wrap around the left leg, Morandini says he's okay as long as he doesn't think about it. Just reacts.
It's pretty hard not to think about it when you have to run. It kind of grabs you a little bit.
Breaking ball in the dirt, 2-2 from Bob Walk. On deck is Kruk, just underway here in the 1st inning.
I would think that Morandini would see a lot of breaking balls. Walk primarily likes to use that breaking ball when he's ahead or even in the count. He's got a good over-the-hand curve.
Beats it foul into the photo area and then right through it into the crowd. Great night for baseball here at the Vet, probably in the high 70s at game time. A far cry from the last 2 nights, day or night we sat up here, did Prism games. Walk throws a good pitch on the outside corner, and Morandini swings and misses. That's a strikeout for Bob Walk.
Well, after the big breaking ball, Walk goes away with this pitch. Watch it go down and away. That's a fastball. He runs away from the left-hand hitter. Great location by Walk. He's going for the corner and just does get it on the outside part of the plate.
That goes along with your point that he's a better pitcher than he's ever been because he really used both sides of the plate. Kruk the batter. John at 309. Swings at a slider and misses.
So far we've seen the change, the slider, the running fastball, and the curve.
John Kruk with a big hack there against Bob Walk. And Kruk lifetime against Walk, a .400 hitter. with a homer and 5 runs batted. As I mentioned, a lot of these left-handed hitters have good numbers against walk.
It's probably why John Kruk went after that first pitch. He was guessing fastball, thought he'd try and come in on him a little bit, and really took a John Paul Bunyan type swing.
1 ball and 1 strike on Kruk with Dave Hollins waiting on deck. Breaking ball misses. Kruk has a 300 lifetime average against Pittsburgh, 324. One of 5 teams he's hit 300 or better against.
Let's see where this pitch is. See how he tries to keep that ball down and break the ball? That's the difference between a good hitter and a mediocre hitter, because sometimes a left-hand hitter off a mediocre fastball that Walk has 82 to 84 will go after that bad pitch, but Kruk knows to lay off that pitch below the knees, and what he does here is he works into a walk. That's a great at bat, even though it doesn't look like it. He looked kind of, he was hacking at that first pitch. He keeps his hands up, he looks for a pitch in his zone in the strike area, and then if it's not there, he takes it.
And Dave Hollins, the batter. Hollins is 0 for 4 against Walk in his career. He hasn't faced him that many times. Hollins just batting .191 in his career against these Pittsburgh Pirates. Steady, solid Dave Hollins. Batted safely in 9 out of his last 11 games, and the pitch is a breaking ball in the dirt. Good play by Slott. Don Slott, by the way, Sluggo as his teammates call him, #1 catcher now, everyday player for Pittsburgh since Mike LaValliere was sent packing a few weeks ago. There is Don Slott, the former Yankee. They used to have a platoon here with him and LaValliere, but now Slott is playing most of the games.
Wait till you hear some startling facts I'll give you later about Slott, and you wonder why he's catching everything.
2 balls and no strikes on Dave Hollins with Dalton on deck.
His numbers right now in throwing base runners out are only 30%, but you know, a lot of that depends on the pitcher. And the Pirates have some pitchers with high leg kicks. It takes them a long time to get that ball to plate, which really hurts Slott's ability to throw runners out, stealing second or third.
Hollins tries to check and can't. It's 2-1. Well, he has a very good move to first, and he's about a 1-3 to 1-4 to home plate, which is average or a little bit below. But the move that Bob Walk has, he usually saves it. He'll throw, kind of just toss it over there, and then he'll use his quick move, and he can pick runners off. 2 balls and 1 strike is Jim Leland. Tells Don Slott what he might want him to do or not do. Kruk not much of a threat to run in this situation. Now it's 3-1 on Hollins as Walk falls behind 2 consecutive batters with Kruk on at first and 2 outs.
Now Hollins has got to tell himself right in this situation, I'm looking fastball all the way. If it's anything else, I can give up a strike and take it. See, Slott set himself up outside. He got the fastball, but it was running away from him.
And he fouls it off the left side. So now Kevin Young, the first baseman, will probably play off. Kruk will be off on the pitch, 3 balls and 2 strikes. There's Young starting to move away, making sure Walk knows that he's backing off the play. And there goes Kruk. And it's a breaking ball. Ball 4. He walks him. So Bob Walk with consecutive walks. He's walked 10 and struck out 21 coming into this game.
After fouling off the fastball, Walk comes back with the breaking ball, not wanting to give in to Hollins. And Hollins last year proved that he has an excellent eye. Again, shows his expertise in being able to spot balls just out of the strike zone.
Now here's Darren Dalton at 250. Just a 200 lifetime hitter against Walk, but has 2 home runs and 5 runs batted in against Bob. Outside ball 1 on deck is Chamberlain. Phillies with a 2-out threat here. Have 2 men on walks with Dalton the batter. No score. We're in the first inning. One ball, no strikes to Dalton. Missed out. Oh, no, it's on the outside corner. 1-1. 27 pitches already for Bob Walk here in the first inning as Dalton thought that was a little outside. There's Kruk, the runner, on at second base.
See, those 2 walks are the difference, what could precipitate a big inning rather than players swinging at pitches out of the strike zone. Last year, Hollins was 76 walks, and now Dalton comes up, the guy who led the National League in RBIs last year, and with 2 outs, he's got runners in scoring position. You never know, but if you got guys that swing at pitches out of the strike zone, you usually end up going 1, 2, 3, or you don't get that good pitch to hit.
1-2 to Dutch Dalton. Bounces up there, not far enough for the base runners to advance. The slot makes another good play. He has thrown fastball, curveball, slider to Dalton. He is really mixing them up. And here's Slot battling this breaking ball in the dirt.
Slot gives credit to Pat Corrales, former Philly manager and player and everything else, because when Corrales was a coach with the Yankees under Dallas Green, Corrales took Slot out every day and practiced with him before the game about 2 to 3 o'clock. And since then, of course, when Slot came over to the Pirates in the National League, he became a pretty good catcher.
Rip foul, look out, folks. Oh, did he hit that foul? Darren Dalton rips a 2-2 pitch out of play. He's tied for the league lead in walks, 28 of them, and among the leaders in home runs, 6, and on-base percentage at .432. He led the Phillies with 11 RBIs against the Pittsburgh Pirates last year. Trying to pick up an early one here. There are those numbers on Dalton. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 men on base. Ball 3 inside, so they'll be off and running.
Well, twice now he's come with the inside pitches with a count 3-2. Usually walk will try and go away with either a running fastball just out of the strike zone or right at the knees on the corner of the plate.
Off-speed pitch, and he fouls it off. Dalton thinking he might get a fastball and didn't get it. Neither did Hollins. 3-2.
Oh, that's a situation where you got to look fastball on this guy, even though he has a good curveball. Well, now he's showing him the curveball 3-2. Let's see if he'll come back with it or go with a fastball.
There go Kruk and Hollins. Hit the deep left field, but right at Lonnie Smith. He was positioned perfectly. Right at Smith for the final out of the inning. Phil's in the first. No runs, no hits, no errors by the Bucks. They'll leave 2. Through 1, no score.
Bert sells balloons. Bob sells balloons. Bert sells wacky gifts. Bob sells wacky gifts. Bert delivers. Bob delivers. So if Bob's got everything Bert's got, why is Bert busy and Bob not? Now, do you suppose Bert's got a big color ad in the book 9 out of 10 people use? The genuine Bella Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. 9 out of 10 use it. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic Company.
While you're enjoying some of the comforts of home, remember, your home can give you lots of other comforts. Like a way to consolidate all your bills and loans. Mellon PSFS Home Equity Loans. While you're enjoying some of the comforts of home, remember, your home can give you lots of other comforts. Like a college education. Mellon PSFS Home Equity Loans.
Make a note to make history when the Colorado Rockies come to town for the first time. Friday, June 4th, Saturday, June 5th, and get a big beach towel free 1:35 Sunday afternoon, June 6th. Then it's the Astros, June 7th, 8th, and 9th. Order your tickets in advance. Call 463-1000.
Cento Italian Food Products is rooting for the Phillies this season. Why? Well, for every Phillies home run, Channel will donate $200 to the Philadelphia Child Guidance Clinic. In fact, they've already donated over $3,400 this year. And you can find any Channel products in all supermarkets.
Jeff King, the batter, will be King, McClendon, and Young. There's Larry Christensen here at the ballpark tonight. He was up here in the booth visiting us. It's hard to believe he can lift his right arm, huh?
Isn't that
6'7"
something?
elbow operation. King fouls it off. This will go to the crowd down the first baseline. King in a little bit of a slump right now. 1 hit in his last 13 at bats. He always looks different when you see him without that beard that he wears for the most part. King, a former #1 pick by the Pirates, #1 pick in the whole country out of the University of Arkansas.
And his dad played for the Phillies organization to Jack King back in 1953, 54, 55. So it's part of the Philly family.
And Jeff batting in the 4 hole for Jim Lehman, playing at third base. Jackson is throwing a lot of sliders tonight, which can be a very effective pitch for him. And he likes to work right-handed hitters inside.
And of course, you know what Jeff King will be noted for as he goes down in the history books for all forever. And that's hitting into that unassisted triple play by Mickey Morandini last year.
In September. And Morandini, appropriately enough, throws him out for just one out. One up and one down, and they'll bring up Lloyd McClendon, who is now platooning with Al Martin in left field. This is the 8th start of the year for McClendon. Actually, he's platooning with Merced, I mean. Merced is not playing tonight because of a left-hander pitching. In fact, the Phillies get one of the best hitters in the league out of the lineup, Orlando Merced, for McClendon, who's hitting .097. All that said, he'll probably hurt Jackson.
And you wonder why.
Rim foul, look out, folks. Slider down and in, and he nailed it down the third baseline. Looks like everybody's okay, thank goodness.
The reason why Lloyd McClendon is getting his time in is he really needs a few more at-bats, or actually a few more games, to get his swing down. Jim Leyland, the manager of the Pirates, realizes that you need 25 guys on a team to contribute, and so therefore he's going to get these guys some playing time. And even if he's got a hot hitter like Merced that belongs in the outfield, you've got to get your extra men playing time. And Leyland is one of the best at getting these guys in.
Look at what McClendon did against Atlanta last year in the LCS. He was outstanding. And one of the best playoff series you'll ever see, ending on the final play of the game on Sid Bream's 2-run single.
Yes. He was 8 for 11 against Atlanta in that 5-game series.
2 balls and a strike on McClendon, a high ball hitter. He likes it out over the plate. And there was a hanging slider. Thompson will field it on a couple of hops and hold Lloyd McClendon to a long single. And that's the first hit of the ball game. It belongs to the Pirates.
Well, see how this is hanging and how close above the belt is it. Ow, right out over the plate. Just a mistake pitch. Danny wanted to get it a little more inside. Those things happen.
So here is Kevin Young, 23 years of age, out of Kansas City, Kansas. Was named the American Association Rookie of the Year last year. Also named the league's top prospect by Baseball America, a guy they really like. And the ball is fouled out of play. And you wonder why? Well, last year at Buffalo, he hit .314, 29 doubles, 6 triples, 8 homers, and 65 runs batted in. And he stole 18 bases. There are the rookie RBI leaders. We've seen a lot of Piazza. We haven't seen Lansing yet. And there's Kevin Young.
What a prospect this guy is. Big, strong.
Well, the Pirates, you know, everybody feels so sorry for them, and you should in a way, losing the players that they lost, but they have a very good farm system, and they have produced some players, as McClendon will take his lead off first. So Jim Leyland has some young players like Young, like Martin, like Garcia, that he can plug in here and see what happens with them.
And all with excellent numbers, too, in the minor leagues. So you got to give their farm system a lot of credit, even though they've lost players like Drabek and Smiley and Bonilla and Bonds. They've been able to replace him with some good quality young players. You're talking about players that might have a chance maybe at Rookie of the Year. And Leyland with 5 rookie pitchers and 3 rookie everyday players. That's quite a job for a manager to have to deal with.
Jackson pitched him away early in the count, got ahead, now trying to come inside twice and has missed. Young is making his 25th start of the night at first base. And he's had 3 hits in his last 34 at-bats, .088. He's been a little bit of a slump. Andy Jackson to Kevin Young. And Jackson misses outside, and he was ahead of him 0-2. And now it's 3-2. We haven't seen that much of Young, so it's hard to say whether or not they're going to start McClendon or not. Keep an eye on him. Don't know whether Young swings through that many pitches. 3 balls and 2 strikes on him, with Slaught on deck. There he goes. Foul ball right side. So that answers that question. He feels confident enough, as Jim Leyland, to start his base runner.
Well, at 6'2", 215, he's got some pop in his bat. And you were giving a bunch of numbers on how well he did last year. In the organization, he led all of the Pirate minor leaguers in batting, runs, hits, and on-base percentage. They have a lot of high hopes for this young kid. And Leyland has told him, he said, don't worry. He said, what we want you to do your first time around is just get used to the pitchers as he takes ball 4. He puts 2 runners on with 1 out. So they're primarily concerned in getting Kevin Young some at-bats and getting him once around the league so that he gets to see what the pitchers throw.
And that'll bring up the veteran Don Slaught. 4 for 19, but hitting at 342 overall. Slaught Phillies will play him as a pull hitter off Danny Jackson. Shade Mickey Morandini up the middle and Dykstra towards left center. Fills a double play depth for Slaught. Tries to check and can't. And it's a strike call. Slaught, of course, very familiar with Danny Jackson. Jackson last year in a Pittsburgh uniform, as you look at the defense, was 4-4 in 15 games with a 3.36 earned run average. Pitched very well for the Pirates.
Yeah, I told you about some fascinating numbers about Don Slaught. Well, let me give you this idea. I'll tell you what he's compiled over the last 3 years. A .315 batting average in catching over 200 games, Chris. No other player in the National League history who's caught as many as 200 or more games has ever compiled that high a batting average in that short a time. No other player in the National League history of baseball.
And as a platoon player for the most part, so you figure, you know, that you're going to see LaValliere in more games, so he had to keep sharp.
Last year he hit .345 for the Pirates in '92. Wow.
And it's fouled away. 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Slaught. The on-deck batter is Carlos Garcia. There's Lloyd McClendon on at second base. And the runner at first. Via walk, Kevin Young. There's 1 out here in the second inning. No score. Phillies and the Buccos. First of 3 will be on Prism again tomorrow night, and then Sports Channel on Wednesday. You see what Slaught has done for Pittsburgh over the last 3 years.
And you would
Jackson
Hello.
A long time, and Slaught got time, and Jackson just didn't throw it.
And you would think with a guy with a line drive type swing would get a lot more base hits on turf, but last year Don Slaught hit .451 on grass and only .301 on turf.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Slaught. This is low and inside. 2-2.
And it makes you wonder why he didn't get traded to a stadium with grass. You know, .451 on grass fields in the National League.
Not a guy who runs real well, obviously, since he's a catcher. The count is 2-2 on Slaught. There go the runners, and it's fouled off. So Jim Leland starting the runners on a 2-2 count, and McClendon will return to second and Young to first. Trying to stay out of a double play that way and figuring Slaught will not strike out into a double play. There's Jimmy Leland. Well, I'll tell you what, you think of what he's been through the last 3 years, the excruciating losses, how close the Pirates have been to the World Series, and he ever handled it with class. That couldn't have been easy what he went through last year.
1 out away.
1 strike.
Yes, 1 out, 1 strike.
Slaught with a line drive and a base hit. They weren't running then, and they will hold him. Whoops, Young takes a big turn around second. Kruk throws back, and he just got back. Boy, Young thought that the runner was going to go from third. McClendon, he didn't, and he just did get back, and they're loaded.
Watch the throw by Chamberlain. I don't know what he was thinking about, but he short hops John Kruk on this situation here. You've got to hit Kruk in the chest with that ball. He wasn't playing a deep right field. This is where you take all this outfield practice and you do your thing. You've got to come up throwing and hit that cutoff man in the chest, because that gives him then the opportunity to make a play at a base. If Kruk would have caught that ball on the fly, they would have got Young at second base.
Carlos Garcia, the batter, with them loaded. Way inside with a slider, 1-0. Garcia batting at .256 with a couple of homers and 9 runs batted in. Rookie second baseman. He's also played some shortstop for the Pirates. He won't play much shortstop during the season because of Jay Bell. We saw him in spring training playing shortstop. Phillies with the infield, a double play depth. Let's see. Morandini, this guy can run. Nope. Duncan gave him kind of a low throw, and Garcia can really run. Not really a double play ball after Duncan backed up on it. So a run scores. McClendon crosses home plate, and it's 1-0 Pittsburgh.
Anytime you have to back up on a ground ball in the infield, you're giving that runner 2.5 extra steps. And Duncan had to back up a little bit to take the high hop. Then Mickey had trouble, as you see right there, getting the ball out of his glove. He tried to pick up slot and couldn't grip the ball. So the only thing you can do with that one was just hold it. And that's exactly what Mickey did. You can't take a chance and try and throw it away.
Here's Bob Walk, who's a good hitting pitcher. Lenny Dykstra is there and grabs it. Walk hit it pretty well, but Dykstra ran it down. So the Pirates will pick up a run here in the second inning. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. They'll lead 2. 1-0 Buccos. A couple of years ago and had a great time down. What a character he is.
Hit 400, didn't he?
All you got to do is be over 30 and Al qualified. What a nice man. So we'll see you at Dreamwig next year. Make sure you call that number. Here comes Wes Chamberlain to lead it off for the Phillies, down 1-0. Chamberlain, Thompson, and Duncan to face Bob Walk. Walk last year 6-6 with a 3.38 as a starter, 4-0 as a relief pitcher. Here's the veteran right-hander getting ready to face Wes. Chamberlain is 2 for 3 lifetime off Walk, and that's a strike on the outside corner.
Considering that he held right-handed batters over the course of 1992 to a .218 average, Chamberlain's doing pretty good off him.
Fastball inside.
Watch, if you can, folks out there, how Walk works the inside and outside part of the plate. Try the breaking ball away to a right-hander, run the fastball in on him, then the change. There's a running fastball in on him. Then he usually tries to go away with either the overhand curveball or the slider. And sometimes he'll take something off and throw a straight change. It's a circle change. More effective against the left-handers than the right-handers.
Chamberlain breaks his bat and gets a base hit. The barrel of the bat almost hit Walk. It's behind the mound. Chamberlain a big turn at first. And Wes is on with a base hit. And they'll have to go retrieve that barrel.
It's a nice piece of hitting by Chamberlain, because when you got a pitcher that works the inside and outside part of the plate, you almost have to wait back a little bit and try and go with the pitch. And you can see Chamberlain kind of really trying to push the ball that way. Well, while Walk was watching the ball, the bat almost hit him right in the ankle. Watch Walk turn around and look at this base hit here. See that? And say, uh-oh. You got to be a little bit alive out there.
Bill Thompson, the batter. Chamberlain back. That's not Walk's good move. To mention, he has a really quick move. Thompson batting .419 lifetime against Walk with a homer and a run batted in. There's Mill at .234. Got that walk in the 8th inning yesterday to load the bases for the guy on deck, Mariano Duncan. Hits it hard to center. Here comes Van Slyke, and he's right there. Boy, Van Slyke can cover some ground. He had Thompson positioned perfectly in left center field. It was right at him, one away.
You hear so much about scouting reports and all these advanced scouts, and they chart every pitch and every swing and everything. Well, look at how well Thompson hits the ball. But Van Slyke, who is very astute at reading all those scouting reports and knows exactly how to play most guys with percentages, was playing maybe 5 or 6 steps away from where the ball was hit. Great job of scouting by the Philadelphia advanced scout on Milt Thompson.
And what a hand for Mariano Duncan, and why not? The talk of the town today after that dramatic grand slam home run in the 8th inning yesterday off Lee Smith. Duncan 3 for 11, 273 lifetime off Bob Walk. Phillies are 16-2 now when Duncan starts. There it is. Well, 15-2. Note said 16-2.
Tonight.
Maybe somebody's anticipating something, or we missed one there.
Oh, Duncan, the most unlikely hero to hit a grand slam yesterday. You know, when the team is playing well, it's like, you know, everybody contributes and chips in. Yesterday it was Mariano's turn.
Playing him very deep in the outfield. Chamberlain with a pretty good lead, and Walk lobs one over there. Walk is very, very slow when men get on base. Even guys who aren't base stealers, he will throw over to first a lot. And now Chamberlain got some dirt in his eye. He calls time as Bob Walk paws at the mouth.
A big reason for that is the fact that he's trying to give his catcher that little extra edge so that the base runners can't pick up some kind of steady movement that Walk uses out there. If he can vary his times hold the ball a little bit. That gives Slot maybe that extra 1/10 of a 100 per second.
Duncan breaks his bat, loops it to right. Long run for McClendon, and he's there and makes the play. 2 down. And Chamberlain remains at first base, and that'll bring up Danny Jackson at 167 with a double. 2 for 12. And Danny has struck out 3 times thus far this year. He's a 124 lifetime hitter. Pitch outside. They'll shade Jackson towards right center with 2 outs. And Chamberlain not much of a threat to run. They're going to play off him a little bit at first base. Young will give him a little perfunctory look. Maybe slap the glove a couple times. Jackson with a looper to right, but McClendon shallow is right there. Grabs it. That'll do it for the Phils in the second. No runs on 1 hit. No errors. Still leave 1. Through 2. 1-0 Pittsburgh.
You can feel it deep inside. Dedication and a real sense of pride. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be a bud. Budweiser. Proud to be a bud. Proud to be a bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be a bud. Proud to be a bud.
When you win the Pennsylvania Lottery's Cash 5, you'll get all the cash all at once in one lump sum. It's called taking your lumps. Cash 5. All the cash all at once. When you win the Pennsylvania Lottery's Cash 5, we'll give you all the cash all at once in one lump sum. All you have to do is pick it up. Cash 5. All the cash all at once.
She's an assistant bank manager, a real go-getter. But tonight, she's Sally Camp, pizza delivery girl. You see, Sally thinks she has to drive to get great pizza. It's like she's working for the local pizzeria. Come on, Sally. Wake up and smell the mozzarella. Call Pizza Hut Delivery for delicious piping hot pizza. And right now, get a large Neapolitan pizza for $6.99 or 2 for $10.99. Hey, Sal, get off the road and phone it in. Why pick up? Pizza Hut delivers.
Friday, May 21st at 7:35, the Phillies play the Montreal Expos, and you can win an instant vacation. Compliments of Rosenbluth Travel and guest quarters, no purchase necessary. For more information and to reserve your tickets, call 463-1000.
Well, kids, this is for you. A dream come true. Once again, Milk Duds Candies and the Phillies are teaming up to offer kids 6 to 16 a chance to be a celebrity bat boy or bat girl and win 4 box seat tickets to a Phil's game. Pick up an entry form at the advanced ticket window, the fan accommodation room behind section 224, or just look in your Phillies souvenir program. Hurry, this offer is limited.
You know, and that's a great offer too. Any time that you can get a boy or girl and give them a chance to be a bat girl at a major league ballpark on the field here with these guys, what a thrill that is.
Well, here we go to Lonnie Smith. It'll be Lonnie Smith, Jay Bell, and Andy Van Slyke to face Danny Jackson. And the pitch is on the outside corner for a strike. Lonnie struck out in the first inning. Jackson has walked 1, struck out 2.
What are the chances of 2 guys named Smith playing on the same Connie Mack baseball team and not being related? Huh?
Slim.
Yeah. Ozzie Smith and Lonnie Smith both played on the same Connie Mack team way back when.
Both of them coming from Los Angeles area.
Yep.
Lonnie hits a line drive to right. Chamberlain is there and flags it down, 1 away.
Like Chamberlain might have had a little trouble with the lights. He kind of caught that ball very close to the vest, so to speak. Smith going inside out on a pitch that was down. And you see Chamberlain coming over, and all of a sudden he catches it right there and kind of turns his head a little bit. Maybe that ball did get in the lights a little bit.
And Jay Bell, the batter, he struck out his first time up. Jackson gets a strike call. Like to send best wishes along to my Uncle Joe Palladino in Runnymede, New Jersey. A little bit under the weather, and I hope Joe feels better real soon watching our Prism telecast tonight over in Runnymede.
Last year, Bell almost 100-point difference in facing right-handed pitchers versus left-handers. Last year, he had 328 against left-hand pitchers, only 324 against the right-handers.
Used to bunt a lot in that 2-hole. Used to bunt a lot, but you know, the reason he doesn't bunt as much is because they haven't had a leadoff man for the last couple of years.
And he's hitting the ball so well too.
2 balls and 1 strike now on Jay Bell with Van Slyke on deck. Jackson misses wide, 3-1.
And another reason he's been asked to assume a little bit more leadership role since he's starting to come of age, and so they don't want his they don't want him bunting to get on. They want him to swing the bat.
That's a little one-sided, huh?
Wow, if you go by now, it is. I guess back then they just thought he was kind of just nothing but a bunter.
Tries to check. They ought to appeal that. And it's a strike. I thought he swung at it. Terry Tata says, go on back, Jay. And Bell goes all the way down to first. And he's just standing there with his hands on his hips.
Well, we'll show you the swing. You make up your own opinion. Jay Bell thought he held up. If he goes across the plate, it's a strike. Anytime the head of the bat goes across the plane of the plate, it's an automatic strike and will be called. And you saw right there the bat head did get out in front of the plate.
I'll tell you, if he checks on this one, he might as well just head for the dugout after doing that to Tata. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Fly ball shallow center field. Chamberlain and Dykstra there. Lenny the play, and there are 2 away. Terry Tata gives Jay Bell a long look as he circles first base and now heads for the Pittsburgh dugout. 2 up and 2 down for Van Slyke, who hit a little comebacker to Jackson his first time up.
Last year, Van Slyke with a terrific year. Hit 324, 14 homers, 89 RBIs. He was second in the national batting race with Gary Sheffield. Sheffield beat him out. He won his 5th straight Gold Glove, 2nd straight All-Star selection.
There's an easy ground ball to Morandini, who grabs it on a big hop and throws out Van Slyke. 3 up and 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. Appropriately enough. It's time now for a Phillies profile. And tonight, Larry Rosen visits with Mickey Morandini.
On a team filled with veterans and strong personalities, soft-spoken Mickey Morandini has arrived. He's been accepted both for his skills and his demeanor. Morandini showed remarkable courage a year ago, abandoning a lifelong hitting style for a new approach, a larger, heavier bat, choking up and using the entire field. The hitting style may be different, but the man holding the bat is not.
I'm real comfortable. I'm sticking with the big bat, choking up, and you know, just because I added some weight doesn't mean I'm a power hitter. I'm still working on hitting the ground balls, using my speed. I would like to hit a lot more doubles this year, but I'm not going to hit many home runs. I'm a type of guy that's got to go out, do the little things, move Lenny over, get those guys in scoring position for the thumpers behind me, steal some bases and things like that. So the way I play the game is not going to change.
Sunday, May 23rd, it's Equipment Bag Day. It's a terrific equipment bag. It's full size with red and blue handles and the Phillies logo. It's for all children 14 and under, compliments of Super Pretzel. And it'll be a great day to bring out the family. So make your plans early if you can. Call to order your tickets easily by phone or stop by any one of the many local Ticketmaster locations. Here at the ballpark, you call 463-1000 for those tickets. And it's a great looking bag.
Happy birthday tonight to Gladys Berger, 90 years of age, and to Jackie Ray. We don't have a age on that one. There's some fans in the stands. You know those people who probably shouldn't use their names, right? Those are players' wives.
Well, they're out here to root for their husbands, and right now they're down a little bit, so I want to spur them on to get some runs.
The only reason I say that, you don't know whether they want to be identified.
Who knows?
Lenny Dykstra takes a pitch down low. Happy birthday also to Helen Ignis of Philadelphia, a very devoted Phillies fan. Lenny with a ground ball right to the first baseman Kevin Young, who steps on the bag, and Dykstra is retired.
Dykstra A little quick on the trigger on this one, going after a pitch that's really not a strike. Very anxious. You can see that pitch up in the strike zone above the letters maybe. Lenny trying to get a pitch that he could hammer in the outfield off walk. Just went after a bad one.
Morandini the batter. Breaking ball misses low. Mickey struck out his first time up. Morandini batting now at 208. John Kruk to follow. 1-0 Pittsburgh here in the third. Bob Walk and Danny Jackson. Walk has not been real sharp tonight, but the Phillies, they've hit a couple balls hard, Dalton and Thompson, but they've been right at somebody.
Good defense by the Pirates. Pirates, as we mentioned earlier, in the National League, they're second. They're only 18. They've only made 18 errors, while the Phillies are fourth in defense with 21 errors. Pirates have turned 28 double plays, Phillies 27, so teams both pretty close in that department. The Phillies have the big edge on pitching.
There's a breaking ball from Walk, and he swings and misses.
Which normally is the Pirates side of it. But Phillies this year all pitching, and their hitters just starting to loosen up a little bit.
Inside, well, Jay, you just mentioned the defense. They've made one error, have the Pittsburgh Pirates now, in 95 innings.
Well, that's always been their forte, Chris, pitching and defense. But this year, the Pirates are second to last in pitching, which is something that's kind of unheard of in Pittsburgh, especially over the last 3 years.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Bob Walk throwing quite a few pitches early in this game as we were just in the third. And there's the pitch total on him. He will not complete many games. He completed 1 last year. Morandini chased a bad ball there and hits a fly ball to Lonnie Smith in left. And Lonnie picks it off. 2 down.
Well, for Walk to be effective, he's got to get his curveball over, Chris, and he's not doing that. That's why so many pitches.
Here's Kruk, who walked his first time up. Kruk batting at 309 with 5 homers and 17 runs batted in. Walk misses again. He's been ball 1 on almost every hitter.
It's that nibble, nibble, nibble. He knows Phillies are a hot-hitting team and catching a lot of breaks. He's not going to give him much to hit at if he can help it.
No, he never does. There's a ground ball to Garcia. Up and over to Young. And that'll do it. Phillies going in order here in the third inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Quickly through 3, 1-0 Pittsburgh.
You can feel it deep inside. You're the one with a real sense of pride, and you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud, Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your. Proud to be your bud.
Honey, I got a new tractor.
Obsolescence.
Honey, I got a new tractor.
It's the fact of life that says nothing lives forever.
Honey, I got a new tractor.
At Cub Cadet, we put a lot of time into our products,
Honey, I got a new tractor.
so you'll get a lot of time out of them.
Honey.
You can accept obsolescence,
Honey,
or you can fight it.
you got a...
Cub Cadet. Working overtime.
Seven big games are coming up. First, the Expos. Thursday, May 20th. Friday, May 21st. Instant vacation night, Saturday, May 22nd. And Sunday afternoon, May 23rd, when all kids 14 and under get a free equipment bag. Then it's the Mets. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, May 24th, 25th, and 26th, all at 7:35. Call 463-1000.
Well, hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Vet. Gary Maddox joins us. How's this Phillies team looked on the outside to you?
On the outside, looks very good. In fact, I'm getting a lot of credit. Oh, you guys are really doing well and everything. I'm hearing that everywhere I go in the city. But I think this destiny thing is playing a big part in this. I mean, you look at the Phillies overall, the starting lineup, not many guys would be voted on the All-Star team. No big numbers by anybody, but, you know, getting the job done.
Team effort, as they say, the old cliche. Strike call to Jeff King. It'll be King, McClendon, and Young, 3 right-handed batters, to face Danny Jackson. Here in the 4th inning, it's a 1-0 Pittsburgh lead.
Chris, I was sitting home with my oldest son yesterday. He's home from college, and he said, the bases were loaded. He said, what do you think? What do you think, a grand slam here?
No.
I said, well, look who's on the mound there. You see the total pitches so far for Danny Jackson, 21 balls and 29 strikes.
What you see, I've hit off this guy.
Yeah, and I'm saying, well, I don't know about a grand slam. You got the all-time leading save guy. He's got a 0.90 ERA right now. It doesn't look good. And sure enough, first pitch, see you later.
Out of here. And there he is, Mariano Duncan. 1-2 now on King, who hits a long drive to deep left field. Thompson has room at the warning track and makes the play, 1 away.
You can tell that's the kind of pitch King likes to go down and get. He just missed hitting that ball out.
Looked like a little down and in slider.
Yeah. See, when you hold your bat that high and you bring it all the way down through the strike zone like that, if you make contact, you generate a lot of bat speed, and that's what King has done, and that's how he gets his power.
Here's Lloyd McClendon, who came into the game batting at 0.97, single to left, scored the Pirates' run in the 2nd inning on an infield out RBI by Carlos Garcia. Well, this pitch is low, ball 1.
I was surprised he didn't try and test Wes Chamberlain out there in right field. They held him at 3rd. Could be 2-0. You know, I would think that you would have to run on Wes in that situation and make him throw you out.
Fouled away, yeah, and Young thought that he was going to try and score, and he had come around 2nd, and they had a play on him.
Right. That's no excuse for Young, though. You have to watch the guy in front of you to see what he's going to do. There's Wes.
Wes Chamberlain has done a good job in right field. He is obviously so much more comfortable there than in left.
See, when you're playing the outfield, one thing you try to get your players to do is to play in shallow, so that if there is a ball hit in front of you, it makes it a tough decision for that 3rd base coach. If you're standing there with the ball already because you're playing shallow, then it makes him hesitant to send that runner around 3rd base, and I think that's what happened.
And they had been running on the pitch prior to that. Were not running when the ball was hit by Don Slott. 2 balls and 2 strikes as Jim Fregosi looks on. Very relaxed at this point. Kind of enjoying the evening. Has the hat back. Good job he's done with his club. Deep to left center field. This ball is really nailed, and it is caught by Milt Thompson. The ball died out there on the warning track, and Thompson ran it down 2 away.
Well, you know, Jackson likes to try and get inside. This time he gets in just enough to keep the ball in the ballpark there. But Milt Thompson, a good play to run that ball down.
Phillies have just been playing outstanding defense, especially in the outfield this year.
Okay, you'll see Milt, he's keeping his eye on it, and he watches it all the way, but he's not sure about the fence, so he's going to jump, make sure he doesn't run into it, and then comes down and make that was a nice play.
Yeah, had almost 2 steps before he got to the fence.
Right. When you run a long distance, you have trouble judging that fence.
Kevin Young hits it to right field. Chamberlain got a good jump. He's there, and that'll do it. 3 balls to the outfield, and 3 out here in the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. A good one. Stick around. 1-0 Pirates.
When you were a child, you were told we're all created equal. But now that you're a little older, you see things a bit differently. The new Lexus GS Luxury Performance Sedan. It's roomier, quieter, and rides smoother than cars costing thousands more. Maybe we are all created equal, but it doesn't have to stay that way. See your Lexus dealer for treatment that's unequaled.
Hey, Dad, how about some money for the movies?
Sure, kid. The frosty mug taste of A&W root beer. It really brings back memories.
A quarter?
Get some popcorn, too.
A&W, our frosty mug taste brings you back.
There's a new feeling sweeping the state, peace of mind. Because now people who couldn't afford health coverage can get special care from Blue Cross and Blue Shield. It's the most affordable coverage available to families and individuals who earn too much for Medicaid but can't afford coverage on their own. If you're uninsured, your peace of mind is just a phone call away. Call 1-800-248-5200.
Well, you don't want to miss an action, miss a moment of action on this Outstanding Phillies ball club right now on Prism tomorrow night, Sports Channel on Wednesday, and then Friday night from Atlanta on WPHL TV 17. Catch all the action on those 3 telecasts.
Oh, okay. That's a shot of some of my guests. The 2 ladies that are sitting up there talking, not watching the monitor, and the guy sitting in front of them. People from Maryland come up to watch a little bit of what our ballpark is like. They have Camden Yards down there and spend a lot of time. But
there's a look at the Phil's bench, and Danny Jackson might have thought this was a home run, Gary.
Yeah, he knows he made a mistake, but got away with it. Look at him watching it all the way.
Stay in the yard.
On certain nights, that ball can carry, but I think he got in on McClendon just a little bit. And there's his best friend. There's Jackson's best friend right there, Milt Thompson.
That might have been a home run yesterday, the way the ball was carrying to left and left center. Hollins the batter. Dave also walked in the first inning. And then he and Kruk were stranded when Dalton hit a line drive right at Lonnie Smith and left. Phillies have hit a line drive at Smith and a line drive at Andy Van Slyke. Breaking ball, and Bob Walk gets it over.
Well, I tell you what the Phillies are going to see from Bob Walk, and what they've seen already tonight is that he's going to mix it up. I mean, throw some stuff slower and slower.
Not too many guys around that you can say you were teammates, huh? Still playing?
Yeah, really, especially from the 80 team.
Really. See, Walk has done a good job for Pittsburgh with those winning records. This is with a breaking ball low. He had a great month of August last year for the Pirates when he was 5-0 with a 1.65 earned run average as both a starter and a reliever.
You know, he has some injury problems that he usually comes on him sometime during the year, but overall I think Jim Leyland's been very happy with.
Well, one thing he knows about Walk when he hands him the ball is he's not scared. He will give him a professional effort when he goes out there, win or lose.
And he's very unorthodox. And there's Dickie Knowles. I saw Dickie down just before I got on the elevator to come up.
Speaking of 1980.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss, and Bob Walk gets a strikeout on Dave Hollins. Strikeout number 2 for Walk.
Bob Walk and Dickie Knowles, 2 young players on there. And how about the contribution another young player made, Marty Bystrom. Look at this pitch here. I mean, he's not throwing that ball by you. He has movement that causes you to get out front and to swing over it. He sets his pitches up very well.
And Darren Dalton, the batter, hit the line drive at Lonnie Smith his first time up. What a defense the Pirates are throwing on Dalton as a pull hitter. Jay Bell, the shortstop, is almost directly behind second base.
Well, you saw that pitch he pulled foul his first at bat. He pulled one, wrapped it almost around him. Look at that defensive alignment.
Guess they think he's going to pull it on the ground. Dalton hits it to left again, and Lonnie's right there, and it's right at him. 2 outs.
What teams like to do a lot of time is to set up a certain type of defense, and they play you one way in the infield and another way in the outfield. They like for you to try and beat that. They would like to see Darren try and go the other way so he doesn't hit that home run or hurt him. They give him something to shoot for, and Darren tries to take advantage of it.
And that'll bring up Wes Chamberlain, who has the only hit for the Phillies tonight. It was a broken bat single to right field.
You'll probably remember how they used to pitch Dave Kingman, or how they used to set up their defense. And Kingman sometimes would just try and poke the ball into right field. Well, that's what they wanted him to do.
He did you a favor when he did that. Right back through the middle. Garcia fumbles in, and it'll be a base hit probably for Chamberlain. I think they'll give him an error on that.
I think it'll be a base hit all the way. It's a tough play for Garcia coming across and moving towards the third base side. That makes it a difficult play. And you'll see when this ball hits the dirt is when he has problems. His next hop just comes up on him right there. Been tough to make the throw from that side of second base.
So far they have not scored it. As Thompson comes up, who hit a line shot to Van Slyke his first time up. They shade him towards left center. And it is a base hit for Wes Chamberlain, who's now 2 for 2. And Walk moves over to first.
You know, it's really funny when you wait to determine. As a hitter, you know what's a hit, what you should get a hit on, and what, you know, is not a hit. And if you get that ball like that and they don't give you a hit, boy, you be ready to tear up something.
Chamberlain breaks and then stops, and the pitch is outside, ball 1. Take a little peek out of the corner of your eye at that scoreboard.
Oh, yeah. You know, you run down there, you hit the bag, and you don't look at the scoreboard. You just kind of glance up. There's Wes right there.
I think he's going anywhere, but he took a pretty big jump off there. That's There he goes. And Slott's throw is low and into center field. Chamberlain doesn't see it. Van Slyke backs up well, and he'll stay at second. That's a stolen base for Wes Chamberlain, his second of the year.
Well, I guarantee you, if Jim Fregosi had seen Wes Chamberlain make that same move, he would have pitched out. And so would someone like a Roger Craig, who looks for movement. And there you'll see the pitch, and Wes this time takes off.
I thought he made that so obvious that he wouldn't go.
Right, you thought it was so obvious that it was a bluff, right?
But jump up in the air like that.
I think you're just a little late. That's Bob Walk being deceptive in his delivery. He could have quick pitched or anything.
Thompson takes a breaking ball over for a strike, and now it's 2-1 with Duncan on deck. Base is open. Thompson is worn out. And Bob Walk.
We know that Jim Fregosi calls a lot of the steals. He puts it on, and the Phillies' success at stealing has been so good because he's been able to pick the moments that he wants his base runners to run. And I think Bob Walk is a guy, if you can get a jump off of him, you're going to run because he has such a slow delivery to home plate.
Last year, Gary, 19 out of 24 against Bob Walk. As you see the career numbers for Milt Thompson against Walk, that's a 79% success ratio for base stealers last season.
Right, you got to send them.
2-2 now on Thompson with Chamberlain at second.
And even though they're sitting on a 6.5-game lead, you don't let up at all.
That's a balk.
And it's almost impossible to balk to second base with the guy on second.
Well, take a look and see what Walk does. There's Chamberlain leading off. Walk is on the rubber. See if he moves his hands and then doesn't step off. Yep. No, man. I mean, a lot of times he'll do it if his hands moving and his foot's going back at almost the same time.
Yeah, it looked like he moved his hands and didn't step back.
Yeah. Close.
The rule, I mean, what they say is you have to step back off the rubber and then you can move freely.
Is Leland waiting for Bonan to come out right now?
He probably has a couple of words that he wants to lay on him.
Look, I think he's waiting for him. Now he leaves. It was almost like he was waiting for him to come out. Look, he's coming real close to Bonan right now. Watch this. Look, he just said something. You're not allowed to argue a balk or you get thrown out. It's like balls and strikes. It's automatic. Friday night at 9 o'clock, Patrick Swayze is an American doctor who tries to heal the sick of Calcutta in the gripping drama City of Joy. It's a premiere of a film from the director of The Killing Fields. Friday night on Prism. Your channel for May Day's movie madness. Strike 3 called to Thompson. He didn't like it. And that'll do it for the Phillies here in the fourth inning as he fires his helmet down. Bonan didn't see that. No runs a hit, no errors, and one left. 1-0 Pirates through 4.
What kind of paint would you use inside your own house if price were no object? Well, it isn't anymore, because Sherwin-Williams is rolling back prices during their price rollback sale. Right now, you can pick up a gallon of Style Perfect Interior Flat Latex for just $8.99. That's a great paint for a great price, folks. So you got a choice. You can spend less at Sherwin-Williams or settle for less somewhere else. Sherwin-Williams price rollback sale ends May 22nd. So, get rolling.
What's new with mobile? Let's take a look.
Introducing new Mobile Super Plus detergent gasoline. It still cleans fuel injectors and intake valves.
Now it helps keep the very heart of your engine cleaner. Down here, the cylinders and pistons.
So come down to the Big Red O and drive your engine clean with new Mobile Super Plus, the detergent gasoline.
This is your world, genuine and true. You're the one who keeps coming through, 'cause you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud, Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your. Proud to be your bud.
Here's a pitch that Milt Thompson took for a called third strike. I think it's too close to take in that situation, but you see Milt, he's firing his helmet down, and Milt's the type of guy that doesn't really do a lot of that. I think it's more because he was fooled than the fact that he was mad about the pitch.
Well, here is Don Slott, who fouls one into the stands right field side. Slott single to right his first time up. It'll be Slott, Garcia, and Walk, the 7, 8, 9 hitters in the lineup. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. Pittsburgh, no runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Phils. Bob Walk and Danny Jackson. Pitch outside to Don Slott, 1-1. Philly shades Slott a little bit towards right center because he will do that. Now that he's ahead in the count, 2-1, Dykstra's moving the other way.
What is he
He
wearing?
might pull it.
Spats? Is that some type of guard? If it is, it's a very abbreviated one. Looks like.
It's like Lenny Moore.
Yeah.
Fouled away.
It is taped underneath there.
Yeah. Where Lenny Moore used to play at Penn State.
Oh, it looks like he may have twisted his ankle or something. Is he the one that slid into second base without on the ball Morandini bobbled?
Yes.
Right, I saw that play, and he slid into that bag so hard I thought he was hurt. And that's just a temporary taping of that so that he can still stay out there and play.
That's the last thing they need because he's their #1 catcher. And they didn't have time to take the whole sock off and tape the ankle.
I know that hurt.
Yeah, he did make kind of a funky slide in there.
Yeah.
That was the play on which the run scored. Slott trying to run hard down the line. Hollins' throw got him, 1 away. He didn't run too badly, actually.
No, he won't feel that until tomorrow or maybe tonight when it starts to throb on him a little bit. And here's Hollins. But you can tell, you know that when teams come to play the Phillies right now, they're saying, hey, anything hit the Hollins, run it out because he's making a lot of throwing mistakes when he has to hurry that ball. So, you know, that's part of the scouting report. They're going to make him throw over there and put pressure on him. Even bunting.
Garcia tries to bunt his way on. Garcia hit the ground ball to shortstop that Gary was just talking about. Not a double play ball, and flipped to Morandini. The Phillies got an out on the play on Slott and a run scored, McClendon, and that's the only run of the ball game thus far.
Chris, you talk about the play where the runner slid into second base. Have you heard anything about those breakaway bases they're talking about doing?
Yeah, I've heard about them, but I can't picture a bag breaking away when you slide into it. You know, I mean, it's used to have those in Little League sometimes, and they would slip out of the belt all the time that was in the ground.
I know if there's anyone that knew anything about it, you'd be up on it.
I don't know any more about it than you do, except that I've heard that they're talking about it. Well, they did that in hockey a few years ago with a goal now flies away. Tomorrow's pitchers. Ben Rivera will pitch for the Phillies. Ben got a little outing in Florida last week. And there's Dave Otto. He used to be in the American League. Phillies have not seen him yet. Swinging a foul tip held on to by Dalton. Strikeout number 3 for Jackson, his first since the first inning.
Danny Jackson, I mean, not afraid to go in, feels that he has to make a living in there. And we'll throw that slider down and in.
And that'll bring up Bob Walk, who's a good hitting pitcher. Has a career home run, and it's off Danny Jackson.
Well, you saw his first at bat. He hit the ball pretty good, and then he had to do some running to track it down.
How about he's currently tied with teammate John Candelaria for 3rd place among active pitchers in career RBIs. They have 48. Doc Gooden's #1 with 55. Rick Sutcliffe, who will not be adding to his total, with Baltimore, has 54 of them.
And Sutcliffe spent, some time in the American League.
Cleveland.
And in Baltimore. But I remember him, left-handed hitter. He could swing it.
There's Orlando Merced, who's one of the top hitters in the National League. 373. Why isn't he playing tonight? Because he doesn't swing the bat very well right-handed. And the Phillies have a left-hander on the mound, so as a result, Merced is not playing. McClendon is. And McClendon has singled and scored the only Pirates run. That's the way they used to do everything for the last 3 years of Pirates. There is Orlando Merced.
Got his James Worthy goggles on.
They look better in Sabos. 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's the candy man, John Candelaria. He's on the DL.
Well, I tell you, when he used to pitch for this ball club, it was he was tough to see.
He was a starter then. walk. Hits a ground ball to Morandini on a big hop. Mickey has it. Walking to first. Foul ball looked like he thought Kruk was going to flip in the baseball. He'll wait for it later. 3 up and 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left. Quickly to the bottom of the 5th. 1-0 Pittsburgh.
May I help you, sir?
Yeah, I'll have a Coca-Cola.
You sure you want a Coke?
Yeah, I want a Coke.
Okay, pal.
How did you order a Coke? It tastes good.
Didn't care if it was a Coke. You just want a Coke.
I'll just have a cola. I'll just have a cola. I'll just have a cola.
Need a drink, sir?
I'll just have a...
You'll just have a...
I'll just have a Coke.
Ooh.
Ah, hear that, guys? A Coca-Cola. See ya, pal. Oh.
Let's say you want a well-equipped 6-passenger car for under $13,000. Look into Dodge Spirit. With the right package, you can get one with options like air conditioning, speed control, and more. And right now, you'll get it all with at least $1,000 cash back, making it the lowest priced 6-passenger car you can buy for only $12,625. Meaning whether you buy, lease, or just want to look, Spirit is a logical choice. See your nearest Dodge dealer today. We know how to help.
Mike's the first guy that ever explained life insurance in a way that we could understand it.
Making things clear is the part of my job I like best.
He showed us all the options that Nationwide has and even helped us choose.
It's training. Seminars and updates. It just never stops at Nationwide.
With life insurance, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And we know Mike.
Agents like Mike are Nationwide.
Nationwide is on your side.
Brought to you by Nationwide Insurance. Nationwide is on your side. Your Nationwide agent in Lansdowne is Bernie Carr.
Well, it feels like summertime here at the Vet tonight, and since it's summertime, Phillies baseball day camps are coming up for boys and girls 7 to 14 years of age at 12 great locations. You get to enjoy a fun day also right here at Veterans Stadium. Those camps are coordinated by the great John Vukovich.
How are they?
So call 215-642-8585 and enjoy yourself at Phillies baseball day camps. Those kids might be going.
Now, people have to understand that John Vukovich organizes the Phillies spring training camp.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
that's right.
He's big time.
They call him Rommel down there. He's like a general. The way he does things. A fan enjoying a hot dog. There he is. He knows we're talking about him. Oh, you just had to do that, didn't you?
No chewing, John.
Mariano Duncan will lead it off. Duncan hit a fly ball to right his first time up. He'll be followed by Danny Jackson and then Lenny Dykstra. Both teams with 2 hits. The Pirates with the game's only run. We're in the 5th. There's a breaking ball, and Duncan takes it for ball 1. Up at third is Jeff King. One ball, no strikes to Duncan. 2-0. There's Mariano's brother from the Dominican Republic. They look a lot alike.
I guess.
That's something. I think he's got pretty good seats down there. I think his brother took care of him. And this pitch is down low, so it's 3-0. Duncan trying to get on base. Maybe Danny Jackson can bunt him over. They'll probably look at one here. 2 grand slams for Duncan. The first one coming off Gary Lucas of Montreal in 1985. Unless you were somewhere else, nowhere near this area in the last few days or last day, you know where the other grand slam, where that happened, who it came off.
Lee Arthur.
Duncan hits a ground ball up the middle. Jay Bell with good range can't get to it. It's a base hit, Duncan. So the Phillies with their 3rd hit, and they get their leadoff man on here in the 5th inning, and Jackson will be up there to try and bunt.
Well, Jay Bell playing Mariano Duncan a little bit over in the hole, and Duncan right back up the middle there. Bell with excellent range, just can't quite get there.
Has yet to make an error this year, has Jay Bell. And the Pirates, the best defensive team in the league right now. Danny Jackson has sacrificed twice so far this year. He's 0 for 1 tonight with a fly ball to McClendon in right field. Around the bunt, and it's outside as both of them come charging. King from 3rd and Young from 1st. Lowry Boa will go through the signs again. Pitcher has the option of going to the slug bunt sometimes if he sees both those fielders coming at him real fast. Jackson around the bunt, and he bunts it. Too young. He will go to first. A good bunt by Danny, his third of the year, and Duncan moves to second base with 1 out.
Jackson, a good job of getting that ball up to the first baseman, make him field it. And a tough play. He takes a short hop and turns around and gets the out at first. You know, a lot of those sacrifices come down to making the right person field the ball. It's amazing when you get up there, a lot of guys will just bunt it anywhere and hope it goes in the right direction. But it's a pretty good skill to be able to get it down where you want it.
Who did you want to field the ball then?
Well, I think you go over that in your meetings and determine who's going to. Does he have enough guts to throw the ball? If there's a left-handed first baseman, it's an easier throw for him. Right-handed first baseman, you might want to make him field it. You cover all those things and know where you want to try and get the ball down before that situation arises.
And it was fielded by Kevin Young, the first baseman, who threw to Garcia. 3-4 on the sacrifice. Dykstra 0 for 2 tonight. Has a runner in scoring position. Pitch to Lenny is on the inside corner. It's 1-1. The on-deck batter is Morandini.
I know we've talked about it before, where you had a guy like Steve Garvey for the Los Angeles Dodgers, a good first baseman. I don't care who was charging. You tried to get the ball to Steve because he did not like to throw to the bases.
He would always fake it.
Pretend like, oh, I would have done it.
I almost had that. 1-1 to Dykstra, a breaking ball outside. 2-1. You see Walk already up to 76 pitches now in the 5th inning, as he has pitched behind a number of hitters. He has walked 2, struck out 3. The Phillies have 3 singles off him thus far.
It's not unusual for Walk to be behind or even close to even in balls and strikes, because he tries to make the hitter get himself out by throwing him something just off the plate.
Dykstra fouls it off right below us. Best arm in the outfield, of course, belongs to Andy Van Slyke, the center fielder. Lonnie Smith in left below average. So is McClendon. So Larry Boa will send Duncan probably, unless it's hit to Van Slyke and hard. There you see Dykstra with runners in scoring position. He certainly would like to improve that. Van Slyke is playing Dykstra towards left center field. And Andy Van Slyke still has a great arm and is very accurate.
And even with a great arm, it's still going to take a ball that's hit to him where he can get a good angle. If Dykstra hits to either side, then they should not be able to have a play on Duncan.
Right. And Boa would probably wave him if it's hit to either Smith or McClendon, unless it's hit real hard. Dykstra takes it low, and the count full now at 3-2. Walk has been throwing 3-2 breaking balls. There's Ray Miller, the pitching coach of the Pirates, looking on. Don't necessarily mean you're going to get a fastball here because the base is open.
Well, you think about that breaking ball backdoor that he threw to Milt Thompson. He feels confident in throwing that breaking ball at any time.
Quick move to second, and Duncan is back in time. Jay Bell, shortstop for Pittsburgh, and a good one. Dykstra up on the plate. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Lenny. Breaking ball, he missed low with it. So Dykstra draws the walk. Walk number 3 issued by Bob Walk. And here comes Morandini over 2 with a strikeout and a fly ball to left.
I'll tell you, Walk in that situation did not mind the fact that he walked Dykstra. You know, it now gives him a chance to set up the double play. But I think he would rather pitch to Morandini with no count and a chance to get ahead than to come in there with a fastball for Dykstra to wail on.
John Kruk is on deck. Morandini checks and the pitch is low. A sinker, 1-0.
All right, see, in a situation like this, an experienced pitcher like Walk trying to get him to chase a sinker. That's a ball that'll hit into the ground and sets up a possible double play.
Also might try to run it away from him.
Yeah, and hope that you try and pull it back the other way.
Duncan, the runner, at second. Dykstra at first.
Right there.
That's a pitcher you might try to pull and be a double play ball.
It's a tendency of every hitter to pull the ball. You go out there and you get that ball and you pull it back to the right side of the infield, and it's an easy double play ball. It's very difficult for hitters to hit the ball the other way.
1-1 to Morandini. He tries to do it, and it is a foul ball by about 2 feet. Eric Gregg the call down there. Morandini with a good idea. There's Eric. Good to have him back.
Sure enough.
Second trip to the vet this year for Eric, who was out all last year with a severe ankle injury and had a fusion operation on that ankle, now says he's feeling pretty good.
See, Morandini, that's what the Phillies have been trying to get him to do, is hit the ball the other way, because pitchers are going to run that ball away. And it was Mickey's, wow, 50 with runners in scoring position. But his tendency when he first came to the big leagues was to try and power that ball. And now they're trying to get him to choke up on the big bat and hit the ball the other way, which is what he tried to do.
1-2, hard ground ball. It's a double play ball. To Bell, to Young, and that'll do it. He hit it right on the nose, but right at the second baseman, and Walk gets the double play. In the inning for the Phils, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. They'll leave 1 through 5, 1-0 Pittsburgh.
You can feel it deep inside. Dedication and a real sense of pride. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud.
Upper Deck asked a few average card collectors whose cards they collect.
I collect Steve Young. I collect endorsements. I collect back doctors, surgeons, rings. I collect fines.
I just collect fishing lures. The musky dingbat.
Dingbat.
I have a 56 powder blue Chevy.
Powder blue.
A Ferrari.
I collect Reggie.
Rolls Royce.
Reggie.
Really?
Not.
Yeah. The smooth. Original interior, original carpet, drives like a dream.
Seven big games are coming up. First, the Expos. Thursday, May 20th. Friday, May 21st. Instant vacation night, Saturday, May 22nd. And Sunday afternoon, May 23rd, when all kids 14 and under get a free equipment bag. Then it's the Mets. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, May 24th, 25th, and 26th, all at 7:35. Call 463-1000.
Hey, Chris, here are the breakaway bases we were just talking about last inning. We mentioned it, and guys brought it up to show us just what it is. And you'll see that the top fits on these stubs right here, and it just kind of snaps into place. And now if a player hits it, you know, this part will come off. And that's been the thing that's been hurting most players. They slide into it, there's no give. Now it will break away, and hopefully that is something that will, you know, prevent some injuries.
Guys aren't using them yet, though, right? Yeah. Okay, we'd like to thank Jeff and Roy from the ground crew for bringing that up. This is just a sample of something that might be done in the future, right?
And if we just saw a shot of a base there, and if you can imagine somebody hitting that and 3/4 of it just flying off if they hit it too hard, I think that's pretty much the concept.
Nice of the guys to bring that up.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you what, you bring something up, and the next thing you know, we got it on the air.
Oh, that's because you snap a finger, and here it is.
Thanks a lot, guys. Lonnie Smith leading it off. And he hits it high in the air and foul down the left field line. This will go to the crowd. Well, the 1993 official Phillies gift and souvenir catalog, compliments of Kellogg's, is now available. This catalog features all your favorite Phillies items, and they are hot right now, so call 463-1000. You can get this catalog free and ask for the Phillies souvenir and gift catalog when you call the number, and they'll have one on their way to you. Lonnie Smith, Jay Bell, Andy Van Slyke here in the 6th inning. Lonnie tonight, he struck out and flied out.
Look at how Lonnie stands very close to the plate, and it was the belief of, I know when we played against him after he left the Phillies, that you wanted to try and pitch him inside, but he really likes the ball in there.
That's right, because he'll work that ball.
Right.
He'll work that ball to right and right center. He'll fight it off.
And you think that if you, by pitching him away, that you would be pitching to his strength. He doesn't like to go out and hit the ball the other way. He likes to take that ball inside out.
1-2 to Lonnie. Ooh. Boy, Dalton thought that was a strike, and so did Jackson. Dutch was ready to fire at the third.
I thought it was also.
Lonnie is right on the plate and way up in the box. He is fearless and always has been. Since he was a kid, he was like that.
Look at his hands over the plate.
Swing and a miss, struck him out on a breaking ball. Number 4 for Danny Jackson.
You're going to see a pitch here that no one can handle, a slider that's down and in like that. Look where that ball ends up. It's almost behind him because he stands so close to the plate. Look at this front leg. Boom. I mean, just to try and get to that pitch, he almost has to dodge back.
Jay Bell, the batter, he has struck out and fly to center. thank Helen Sudgka for sending us a nice note. She's a great Phillies fan. Wants to say hi to her favorite brother-in-law, Blackie Davis of Levittown, PA, and his wife. Her sister Joan, who's recuperating from an illness, and they watch all our games here on Prism, and we thank them for that. Here's a strike called to Jay Bell, and the count, no balls, and 2 strikes with Van Slyke waiting. Good ball game. Look at Jay Bell. What a job he's done. Tough to get him out of the lineup. This guy is really a good player. That ball slams off the scoreboard control room on the right field side, back into the crowd.
Jay Bell is a good defensive player, and he throws some good stats at you. You put him, surround him with the Barry Bonds and the Bobby Bonilla, then he becomes just, you know, a real force to be dealt with. But if you take those guys away from him, you can stand to have this guy get his base hits against you.
He's a very, very intense player, according to everybody around the Pirates. He's one of those guys that will tell off a teammate. 1 ball, 2 strikes to him. Ground ball hit the second. Right there is Morandini, who throws him out. 2 up and 2 down. So far, 0 for 9, the first 2 hitters in the Pirates lineup.
Well, again, Jay Bell's a guy that's a little bit close to the plate, steps towards a pitcher, and he gets jammed. He likes to fight that ball off, but Jackson gets in a little bit too much on him, and it's a weak ground ball.
Yeah, he likes to work at the right center also.
And speaking of shortstop, getting on people, we know Larry Boyd used to do that, and we know Mariano Duncan will do that. Maybe it's something about the position. Little guys like to do that.
Van Slyke, the batter. Ball 1 to him. Andy is grounded back to Jackson. He's also grounded to Morandini. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Pirates. No runs, 3 hits, and no errors for the Phillies. Jackson now has retired 13 in a row since Don Slott's single in the 2nd inning. Ball 2 inside, 2-1. Here's the line on Danny Jackson thus far, pitching very, very well tonight, as is Bob Walk for the Pirates. Both teams have been getting good starting pitching. Starting pitchers have pitched into the 6th inning in 16 straight games for the Pirates. And Bob Walk will be doing that tonight, it would appear, to make it 17 straight. Van Slyke fouls it off. Pirates have a 6-man bullpen, much as the Phillies do. They have 3 left-handers and 3 right-handers. That's a Jim Leland trademark, since he's really never had a power closer, and all those good teams the Pirates have had. Van Slyke fouls it off. We'll be visiting with Ron Lockett at the end of this half inning. Larry Rosen has a mining the minors report on the Reading first baseman.
With a beautiful swing, Ron Lockett is a good-looking prospect.
That guy's a veteran out there in center in the green suit. Two balls and 2 strikes to Van Slyke. Breaking ball hit weakly to second. Morandini, a tough play, and Van Slyke will beat it. Andy Van Slyke can still run down that line. Hit number 3 now for the Pirates, who have a 2-out base runner.
There you go. Send it to the other side. Well, he kind of takes that ball and just bounces it into the ground. You take those. You say, yeah, I didn't give it my best hit, but I'll take that.
May look at it in his box score tomorrow. Nobody will know. He's shaking his head. Yeah, you know, you get a few of these. Andy Van Slyke.
He's hitting 289 going into that bat, so he's over 290. And that's what you look for, those big bleeps in the different numbers there.
King, the batter. Van Slyke has stolen 5 bases in 6 attempts, if you're thinking about him maybe running here. King last time hit the deep fly ball to left field. He's also grounded to second. There is Andy Van Slyke, who batted .324 for the Pirates last year. Grounded foul, so Jackson gets ahead of King 0-2.
Van Slyke with that bad bag. You know, all you have to do is just hit that ground once and it can flare up. So he picks his times when he goes and tries to make them meaningful situations.
There you go. There's an easy one for a fan. Come to the game, and here it comes, and I missed it. How could I miss that?
Kid with the glove.
Swinging a foul off his puppy. Goes right back out to Jackson, and King's in pain at home plate.
Yeah, see those left-handers. I tell you, as a right-handed batter, you're looking to dive into the plate. And here's Jackson throws that slider that just starts out over the middle and just keeps on coming and coming. Next thing you know, you're swinging at the ball inside, pounding it down on your foot.
I remember you hitting one off your knee one day. Your front knee. Well, you used to spread out slightly.
Yeah, that had something to do with it. But I was known to chase a bad ball. I don't deny that.
I mean, where did that pitch have to be for you to hit it off your knee?
I tell you, for the ball to hit you anywhere, you have to swing at a bad pitch. Right. Where it hit you determined on how bad a pitch it was. And mine was real bad.
You might have hit that ball over the third base dugout if it hadn't hit your knee.
Yeah. Unlike Lonnie Smith in his last at bat.
No balls and 2 strikes now to Jeff King. And of course, they come right back in there again. 1 and 2. Andy Van Slyke, the runner on at first base. There are 2 outs, 1-0 Pirates in the 6th inning.
Steve Carlton was a believer in throwing that particular pitch to the 7, 8, 9 hitters, but not that fastball. He would not throw a fastball inside to a guy hitting low in the lineup. That slider, he'd throw it inside to anybody.
Swinging a foul tip, held on to by Dalton. Strikeout number 5 for Danny Jackson. No runs a hit, no errors. The Pirates will leave 1-0 Pittsburgh through 5 1/2. I'm now reminding the minors, Larry Rosen will visit with Reading's first baseman, Ron Lockett.
Sweet swinging Ron Lockett has now had a taste of life at the top. This 1990 draftee out of Jackson State struggled offensively last year for the first time as a pro. Nonetheless, his potential earned him a spot on the Major League roster and a ticket to big league camp this spring.
When I got there, they was really, the main thing they wanted to work with me was my hitting. Make sure I got my strokes back. And once I got that back, I had the confidence where it's like my defensive skill was still okay. I didn't have to worry about that or, you know, moving runners over. You know, I just had to worry about my hitting. Once I got that down, it was like I was a complete player again. And now I feel real good about myself.
The key for Ron, staying back, waiting and using the entire field. He's done that early this season at Reading and has reestablished himself as one of the top prospects in the Phillies minor league system.
Well, this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Phillies and is intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience and may not, absolutely may not, be reproduced or transmitted in any form or otherwise used without the express written consent of the Fightin' Phils. Ron Lockett, there's a guy you know pretty well.
Most definitely. I like his approach to hitting. I tell you, you watch some of these guys when you see them down in the FIL, Florida Instructional League, or you get a chance to see them play, and you can just tell when some guy has a great swing, and from that point, once you notice that, you start pulling for him to get it all together, the mental part that goes with it. But I think he's an excellent prospect. Played last year in Reading as well, and back again.
On Thursday at 7 o'clock on Sports Channel, Reading will be televising a game with Bowie, and Larry Rosen will be doing that. And not interviews. He will be doing the play-by-play.
Oh, will he?
We'll be on our way to Atlanta.
I won't be, so I'll let you know exactly how he does.
Why don't you critique that one for me?
Right. I've heard him do those basketball games.
Does a good job on those.
Yeah, but this is another sport. I know he does okay.
Truck with a hard ground ball. Let's see if he can make it to second. Cut off nicely by McClendon. Good play by Lloyd McClendon on a hard ground ball into the gap. And John Kruk has a leadoff single here in the 6th inning. That's hit number 4 for the Phils, and here comes Hollins.
John Kruk looking for that magic he possessed early on in the first couple of weeks of the season. I mean, it's something when you're struggling hitting 309, right?
So there's Kruk on at first base. Coming into the game is a .400 lifetime hitter against Bob Walk. Hollins has yet to get a career hit off Walk. He's 0 for 5. Breaking ball. He missed with it. On deck is Dalton, and then Chamberlain. Pirates are getting some bullpen activity now as you go into the 6th inning, and Dalton waits on deck. You mentioned they have a 6-man bullpen, and they're starting to stir around out there. That's Denny Nagel, the left-hander, will start to loosen. 3 lefties and 3 righties for Jim Leland. Hollins fouls it off at the plate. Hollins this year has hit 4 home runs, 2 right-handed, 2 left-handed. Don Slott wants to walk that one off.
Hollins in his last at bat struck out. I mean, Walk had his number completely, baffled him, and you know, that's what Bob Walk will do. Each at bat that you have against him, he's just playing off of every pitch he's throwing you to that point and trying to stay ahead of you. One step ahead, one thought ahead of you. He has such control that he can throw any pitch, and that gives him an advantage. Dave Hollins in a position where he is ahead in the count with Darren Dalton behind him is used to seeing a fastball from a pitcher. But from Bob Walk, he just doesn't know at any time what he'll get.
1 ball and 1 strike on Hollins. Base hit right field. Kruk got a good jump. McClendon up with it, throws to third, bad throw, and that's going to let Hollins move into second. We mentioned that McClendon is not a good thrower out there, and he just missed the cutoff man and made a big mistake.
Well, the fact that you're not a good thrower has nothing to do with it. You're taught basic fundamentals as a Major League Baseball player, and that is that you hit the cutoff man. Now, Hollins right there takes advantage of a high and in fastball. But you see McClendon right there thinks he has a shot at John Kruk, but doesn't. And what he does is allow the go-ahead run to move down to second base.
Through that 20 feet over the shortstop's head, Jay Bell, who's a cutoff man. You'll see it right here. Look.
I know they just left, but that was a Cardinal sin he just committed.
Here comes Leland. With Darren Dalton coming up, Jimmy Leland's going to go to the bullpen. So Bob Walk will pitch into the 6th inning, probably. Well, we shouldn't give him the hook yet, because this is just the first trip out. But you would think with that left-hander up that Leland's thinking about pitching change.
Well, you know, with Bob Walk, it's more so important that you hit your cutoff man, because we saw how, with his pitching ability, he can entice a double play ground ball from someone. We saw him do it with Morandini in the last inning. So,
and Jim Leland will not make a pitching change.
Well, he might be discussing whether or not they want to pitch around this guy here.
No, well, he's got a left-hander up in the bullpen only, though, with a right-handed batter Chamberlain on deck. Well, we'll see what happens. See, Bob Walk, we mentioned earlier, is not going to complete a whole lot again. Infield back for the Pirates. 1-0 Pittsburgh. Dalton takes it inside. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Dalton with 6 homers and 16 runs batted, and he's got a couple sitting out there for him right now. Walk is working from the full windup. Dalton takes it low, 2-0. So a fastball inside, then a breaking ball.
And neither one strikes, and intentionally so. You try to get him to maybe get himself out to chase something, but Darren Dalton's not biting.
Dalton really wants to pull a ball here to get a run home and then to move another runner to third base with less than 2 outs. Oh, and he hits a fly ball to left field. Down the line, a long run, Lonnie Smith. He's near the stands, and it's a foul ball. It's a foul ball, as Lonnie Smith couldn't hold on to it. I thought there might be a chance for fan interference there for a second, but it's just a foul ball, and the Phillies get a big break.
There's no fan interference because the ball is so far inside the ballpark here. Lonnie kind of at the last second, he just lunges at it. You'll see it right here, and overshoots it. You see, he overruns the ball right there. It's not even close to the fan.
And the fan peeled off at the last second. It's a foul ball called immediately by Eric Gregg, and it's just a strike to Dalton, who was not happy hitting that ball down there. As we just said, you know he wants to pull it.
Bob Walk in that situation should have had an out.
Yep. Which would have been a huge out for him. By the way, Larry Bowa was tagging Kruk up in that situation just in case, and might have tried to score him even if Lonnie had caught it.
Well, there's no point in going halfway, because you could, you know, being on third base there, you're going to score anyway if it turns out to be.
Boy, Walk is really ticked at that. He thought that pitch was on the corner. And Bonin calls it a ball, 3-1. You can see see him very upset.
Well, it could be mounting frustration because he had a bad play by McClendon, and he had another play by Lonnie Smith that should have been called.
Yeah, and the Pirates, a very good defensive team, are making mistakes in this inning. Ball 4, he walked them. They're loaded with nobody out for Chamberlain, who is 2 for 2. And as we mentioned, there is no right-handed pitcher up in the bullpen.
Well, you see Leland's signal right there to play for 2. They're going to let him pitch to Bob Wall.
You know what I think the situation is? They have had some tough games over the weekend, Gary. The Pirates, their bullpen might be very tired right now. And Leland might not be able to make the moves he'd like to because of the long games they've had.
Well, he's going to give him a shot here at Chamberlain, and then you got Milt Thompson coming up, so it's a repeat of another left-hander with Nagel ready.
Chamberlain pops it up, playable. In the infield. Garcia, the infield fly rule in effect, grabs it, 1 out. That's a big out, and here comes Thompson. And Nagel is ready now if they want to make the move.
Bob Walk, the ability to change speeds. Just, I mean, throws the ball that runs in a little bit, and Chamberlain, boom, just pops it up a little late on it.
Now a right-hander up, Paul Wagner. The Walk gets a huge out for him as he gets the right-handed batter out. Now he has to face Thompson.
And Milt, very difficult to double up.
Oh, he can't believe that's a strike. Remember, Thompson couldn't believe it earlier when he was called out on strikes.
On that exact same pitch.
Pitch looked like it might have been outside.
I doubt it. Our producer says it's outside.
Yeah, it was. No balls and 1 strike on Thompson, who's lined out and struck out. Phillies with their best scoring chance of the game, and the bases loaded, nobody out. Chamberlain just popped up, and it's 0-2 on Thompson with Duncan on deck.
Look at the pitches. I mean, if you're Milt Thompson, what are you thinking right now? He throws a backdoor breaking ball that's outside that's called a strike. Then he jams you with the fastball. Where is he going right now?
If he throws a backdoor breaking ball, he might have to swing at it because he's been getting called out or called strikes on that pitch. There we go, 0-2. Breaking ball, good block by Slot, 1-2. That's textbook block of a pitch by Don Slot, who just let his body surround this ball and block it.
Right, it's anticipation. You know a breaking ball's coming. You know you want it down, so you anticipate the ball being in the dirt.
Not worried about catching it. 1-2. To Thompson. Breaking ball, ground ball to second. Garcia. Did he get him? He got him, but it's a tie game. What a play by Bell to stay on second base somehow. They get the out on a good play by Garcia and a good play by Bell, and it's 1-1.
Remember last year when Jay Bell had that problem with the phantom play at second base that cost the Pirates a game? This time, he makes sure that he just gets the 1. This is a good play right here by Garcia. Takes a short hop, turns and fires low. Look at Jay Bell with Darren Dalton, who gets down there pretty good right on him. Makes a good play to stay right there on the bag.
Yeah, he had him lined up, too. Now here comes Duncan. The Phillies have nobody up in the bullpen, so Bob Walk knows that Danny Jackson will hit next. See how he approaches Duncan with 2 outs and runners at the corners.
Milt Thompson in a situation like this will want Duncan to get a chance to get his swings in. They'll walk and pitch to Jackson if he runs.
There's a ground ball to short. The play will be to first, and Duncan's retired. The Phillies had a bases-loaded opportunity, and they get 1 out of it. 1 run, 2 hits, and 2 left. 1-1 after 6.
The metal cylinder is secured and turned in a counterclockwise motion, causing the internal railing to rise and disengage. It's easy to make something as simple as opening a jar complex. The challenge is making the complex simple. But that's what we do at Bell Atlantic Mobile. We take cutting-edge technology and place it comfortably in your hands. Bell Atlantic Mobile. Advanced technology and people who make it mean something.
You can feel it deep inside. You're the one with a real sense of pride, and you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud.
This is the future. We are waiting. You must choose your fate. Will you choose to join Andrew McCarthy and Jennifer Beals in the battle against the strange virus of Dr. M? Will you take sides for or against gang leader Malcolm McDowell in A Clockwork Orange? Or will you journey to 2008 to aid Rutger Hauer's search for a London killer in split second? The future waits for no one. Choose before the end of Prism's next lunar phase, or it may be too late.
When you're thirsty, you need a diet squirt. Because there's nothing like our refreshing blend of citrus flavors. Give your thirst a diet squirt.
Well, this homestand still has a couple games remaining. These Pittsburgh Pirates here tomorrow night and Wednesday night at 7:35. Get your tickets by calling 215-463-1000. That's 463-1000. The Pirates tomorrow and Wednesday nights at 7:35. To the 7th inning. Good ball game. Tied at 1. Jay Johnstone rejoins us.
Well, it's nice to be back. At least the Phillies tied it up on a couple of faux pas by the Pirates. One by Lloyd McClendon, the hitter that's at the plate now, and the other by a ball that probably Lonnie Smith should have caught. He looked like he took his eye off of Chris a little bit when he had a collision with that fan and fence out there.
Pitches outside. Ball 1 to McClendon, who has singled and scored and hit one almost to the wall that Milt Thompson ran down his last time up.
You know, Gary Maddox made a great point. You're taught from day one as an outfielder, you always hit the cutoff man.
McClendon with a line drive base hit center field. So McClendon playing tonight doesn't get that many chances to start. He's a .257 lifetime hitter against the Phils coming into the game, and he's 2 for 3.
Well, he had a tough April. 1 for 19, as you mentioned earlier. Watch the fastball right here, right down the center of the plate, knee high, and McClendon delivers a rifle shot to center.
Jackson due to lead off for the Phillies in the 7th, and they're getting the bullpen up, are the Phils, for the first time tonight. Here is Kevin Young, the first baseman, who has walked and hit a fly ball to right field. He is not bunting with the bottom of the lineup coming up, so he fouls it away. He struck a long run. Oh, he tries to make a great play. Still no call, and he doesn't have it, looks like. First base umpire Terry Tato over there. Truck going all out on the tarp trying to make a play.
You can see how these Phillies are playing. He looks up, picks the tarp up, knows exactly where it is, and then is able to reach and lean over the tarp and not really hurt himself. Some guys going after the ball in that area forget the tarp is there, and when they hit the tarp, eventually they kind of bounce a little bit on top, and their arms come down on that metal fence. Sometimes they hit their elbow.
The tarp isn't there. He makes the play. Now he's around. He looked like he was going to try and bunt for a base hit then, and got Hollins up at third. Now you see the third base coach Rich Donnelly going through the sign. See if Leland just gave him one swing and now might make him bunt. Normally you don't bunt with the bottom of the lineup coming up. Slaught is the next hitter, 7-hole hitter. We're in a 1-1 game here in the 7th inning.
That's what makes Jim Leland so unpredictable. Normally, as you said, in that situation you don't bunt, but Leland probably feeling that the Buccos having trouble scoring runs off Jackson and scoring runs as of late. Want to get a runner in scoring position as we see Jackson's total pitches right there. They want to get that runner in scoring position for their hot-hitting catcher.
Said the bullpen was getting up. Well, they stirred around out there. A couple guys started walking around, but nobody's throwing. 2-1 now to Young. Not bunting that time. Takes a breaking ball for strike 2. So Leland let him swing on the first pitch. On the next 2, he showed bunt, and now he takes a pitch, and he was not bunting. Lloyd McClendon on at first base. He has not stolen a base this year. Not a guy who normally runs, unless they were to play hit and run, of course. 2-2 to Young. Jackson's pitch. Ground ball up the middle. Morandini makes a great play. He got it. Unbelievable. McClendon doesn't think he's out, but what a play by Morandini. And Jimmy Leland's going to come out and argue with the second base umpire, Wally Bell. It looked like McClendon might have beaten that play.
That's one of those bang-bang plays. Wally Bell right there, as you see Leland going out to chat with him. McClendon thought he had that left leg in there. We'll show it to you on the replay. But Jimmy thought that McClendon was safe. So did Lloyd. Bell sticking by his guns. But what a play by Morandini. He had to come up after he caught the ball right here. And then after he gets it, he has to come up and make a good throw to Duncan, which is a quick toss. And as you can see right there, McClendon is safe. We'll take one more look. Watch where McClendon's foot is and when it hits the bag. The toss by Morandini, and there's the ball still coming, and McClendon in the bag and coming up. So the Pirates do have a legitimate argument right there.
Nice if you had replay if you're an umpire.
Yes, that unfortunate situation. You got to make a bang call, and Wally Bell did his job.
Phillies catch a little break on that. Here's Don Slaught, the batter, and the pitch is inside, ball one. It looked to the naked eye up here as if he had just beaten it. And McClendon thought it was because he called himself safe right away. But the guy that matters called him out. Here's Wally Bell, second base umpire. 1-0 now to Slaught. Tough play. I mean, when you get a play like that, bang at second base, that's, you know.
Yeah,
it's easy for you. It's easy when you watch your replays over from 3 angles and all that.
That's right. Well, Young had 18 stolen bases last year in Buffalo, Chris, so he's got a little bit of speed. Let's see with an out if Leland starts to do something with one of his best hitters at the plate.
1 ball and no strikes on Slaught. In deep right field, Chamberlain, a good jump. He's there at the track, flies it down 2 away, and Young will return to first base. Slaught really drives that ball the other way.
Oh, he's just a good hitter. He doesn't try and hit the ball out of the ballpark. He likes to hit it where it's pitched. And as I mentioned before, the only National League catcher in the last 80 years to have that has had an average of 315. No one else has even come close to compiling that average of a guy that's got 200 or more games in the last 3 years.
Carlos Garcia, the batter. He is 0 for 2, but he's knocked in the Pirates' only run of the game on a fielder's choice. And the pitch from Jackson is high, ball 1.
Surprisingly enough, the outfield is playing Garcia around to right field, yet the infield is playing him straight away. You see it Morandini not really playing towards the right field slot where most right-hand hitters that hit down in the order like to go with that pitch.
1-0 to Garcia. Jackson holds the ball a long time. And now time is called by the batter Garcia. As Jay mentioned, Young, the base runner, did steal some bases in the minor leagues. Up here so far this year, he has not stolen a base in 1 attempt. He's been thrown out once. Gets away from Dalton. And Young advances to second.
Just as good as a stolen base. Be a wild pitch.
Good base running by Young, who saw that ball in the dirt rolling away from Dalton, had a good break off first and makes it to second base.
And Young, a big guy, 6'3", 218 pounds.
Ball just off the dirt and got away from Dalton. They have yet to score it. As Young goes to second base, it's a wild pitch, and the count is now 2-0 on Garcia with walk in the on-deck circle, but they would hit for him. Swing and a foul in and out of the glove of Dalton. The Pirates off their bench have John Wehner and Tom Prince from the right side. Merced said they wouldn't use right-handed. I don't think.
You looking at me? Wehner or Prince?
Well, it would be Wehner because Prince is the backup catcher.
Yeah.
So it's 2-1 right now on Garcia. Swing and a miss. Center ball down and away.
I think that Jackson's got in his mind he's not going to give Garcia much to hit. Make him swing at one of his pitches. Try and get him to pop it up or strike him out.
There's Young leading off second base. We're tied at 1 here in the 7th inning. First 3-game series between these cross-state rivals, Phillies and the Pirates. Jackson ready with the 2-2. Hard shot on one hop to Morandini. He's got it and throws him out right on the nose and right at Mickey. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on base. 7th inning stretch time coming up. We're tied at 1.
Let's say you want a well-equipped 6-passenger car for under $13,000. Look into Dodge Spirit. With the right package, you can get one with options like air conditioning, speed control, and more. And right now, you'll get it all with at least $1,000 cash back, making it the lowest priced 6-passenger car you can buy for only $12,625. Meaning whether you buy, lease, or just want to look, Spirit is a logical choice. See your nearest Dodge dealer today. We know how to help.
When good just isn't good enough.
Well, looks like you got a new pride and joy.
Well, it's not exactly new, but it's new to me.
And I see you're putting in super premium.
You bet. I saved every dollar I made for 2 years to buy this, so I'm giving it nothing but the best.
Nice car.
See what I mean?
So when good just isn't good enough for you, experience our best. Fly with the new superpower, Citgo.
She's an assistant bank manager, a real go-getter. But tonight, she's Sally Camp, pizza delivery girl. You see, Sally thinks she has to drive to get great pizza. It's like she's working for the local pizzeria. Come on, Sally. Wake up and smell the mozzarella. Call Pizza Hut Delivery for delicious piping hot pizza. And right now, get a large Neapolitan pizza for $6.99 or 2 for $10.99. Hey, Sal, get off the road and phone it in. Why pick up? Pizza Hut delivers.
Hi, I'm Dick Vermeil with a Blue Cross Blue Shield health tip. Do you want to lose weight? Then don't skip breakfast. Eating breakfast can reduce impulsive snacking and therefore can play an important role in losing weight. Nutritionists recommend that you include a low-fat, high-carbohydrate breakfast as part of your weight loss program.
Well, Chris, we go to the bottom of the 7th. It's 1-1. Phillies one more hit than the Pirates. And Jim Fregosi letting Danny Jackson bat for himself. Jackson's pitched quite a game.
Boy, has he ever. And Jim Fregosi, he will leave his starters in certain games just depending on how it's going. And he believes Danny Jackson is still strong, and he's going to leave him in the ballgame. And Jackson takes strike 1 from Bob Walk. Jackson has pitched 7 innings 3 times now this year. His longest outing thus far is 7 1/3 innings at San Diego on the 29th of April. Bob Walk up to 100 pitches. Jackson swings and misses. Danny has flied out and sacrificed. If this were the 8th inning, there's no doubt he would hit for him. In the 7th, he's going to let Jackson bat and then go another inning, possible.
It's not like the Pirates are killing him, you know.
No, he's still strong. Oh, look at this. Garcia. Got it. What a terrific play by Carlos Garcia. It looked like a possible base hit, and Jackson was busted going down the line.
After watching Garcia flip that ball, it kind of reminds me of another Philly second baseman, Manny Trio, who could make that play sidearm as best as anybody in baseball. Watch him flip his sidearm and with something on it. That was a step.
It's a great play, man.
Oh, terrific. Now we know why that they got rid of Jose Lee. Kid can make the plays, and they said he has better range. Right there, he just proved all those scouting reports correct.
It's great quickness. They're going to put him on a softball team to pitch after that. That looked like a softball pitcher. Carlos Garcia, who also can play shortstop and has a shortstop arm from what we've been told.
You know, coming into this season, he'd only played 14 games at second base. So he's primarily a shortstop. Dykstra fouls this one just out of play as King gives chase, and so does Bell. But, you know, when you're primarily a shortstop and you only play 14 games at second base, and your manager comes to you and says, hey, look, you're going to play in the big leagues, but you're going to play second base.
Garcia is from Venezuela. As we look at Jeff King, the third baseman, there is Garcia. He's 25 years of age, 6'1", 185-pounder. Signed by Pittsburgh in January of 1987. No balls, 2 strikes on Lenny. Outside. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors. Pittsburgh. 1 run, 5 hits, no errors. Phillies. We are in the 7th. Phillies 10-1 in 1-run games, 6-0 in extra inning games.
You're giving Garcia a lot of accolades. Last year, he's named the 2nd best prospect in the American Association by Baseball America magazine. So,
first one was Kevin Young, his teammate.
Yeah.
He's over there on his left shoulder.
All of a sudden, now they're in the big leagues at 1st and 2nd, respectively.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Dykstra. Hard ground ball, nuts played by Young. Walk is late getting there, and Dykstra will get a base hit probably. That was Bob Walk's fault. He did not break immediately.
Well, and it's a rookie mistake also, because you've got to give the pitcher the ball a little closer to the bag. Kevin Young makes an outstanding play. Watch him dive for this ball. As he dives for it, he gets to his knees, but watch where he throws the ball to Bob Walk. Walk has got to be a little closer to the bag. Had he given Walk just a little bit of a lead, he might have beaten Dykstra. Let's take a look at it from another angle. The throw was too soon, and the ball was behind Walk, which Walk had to slow down. If he throws that ball and leads Walk, great play all the way around.
And you can see in the replay there how late Walk was getting over. So Lenny Dykstra on with 8 stolen bases in 11 attempts. That's a base hit for him. Hit number 6 for the Phillies, and Morandini the batter. And the Pirates have the bullpen up again. Kruk is on deck.
Let's see if Morandini's bunting. Yes, he is.
He's bunting for a base hit there with 1 out. Then bunts it foul third base side. Pirates have a right-hander up. There's Paul Wagner, the right-hander, starting to throw. He was up last inning. Pirates left-hander standing there that looked like Nagel again.
6 relievers, 3 and 3, like the Phillies.
Morandini tonight has struck out, flied to left, and hit into a double play. 0-1 on Mickey. Dykstra, as Walk steps off. Now, Walk will do a lot to hold runners on. As I mentioned, he has a real good move over there. He's quick, but you can run on him if you pick the right pitch. Because he's fairly slow to the plate. Dykstra does not go, and Morandini up the middle, and Jay Bell will go after Dykstra and miss it, then throws wildly to first. That ball went into the stands and back out. Boy, Jay Bell made a terrible play. Then this team has not made many errors, but that was an awful play on Bell's part.
I think it was a reflex type play. Bell, who made a great...
They're going to give Dykstra home now, depending. I think Bonaz telling Dykstra he can score depending on where the position of the runners were when that ball was thrown.
Wow, and Jim Leland's going to argue to the hilt on that one.
Now they're going to ask Eric Gregg where the runner was. But Bonaz, the home plate umpire, was going to allow him to score. That's probably going to be a hit and an error, and we'll see what happens from here.
I don't think he was far enough along, Chris, to be given home plate.
Yep.
And now Bo is going to argue.
It depends on the position of the runner. Now Jim Fregosi will come out and argue.
Well, Bo thinks that Dykstra was far enough along, but from up here, we didn't think so. That's why the umpires got together and asked Eric Gregg where he was. Fregosi trying to figure out why Bonan changed his mind or why Gregg had him change his mind. And here comes crew chief Terry Tata. What the play was is a ground ball hit up the middle. Walk did a great job in stopping a little bit, got some glove on it, and Bell had to re-change his direction. He got the ball, but Dykstra came to the inside of second base and slid around Bell, who tried to tag him. Then with Bell's momentum going towards the pitcher's mound, he decided to underhand flip it to first base, and the ball went way wild and high. One hop right into the stand just past the Phillies dugout. And then all eyes riveted to Eric Gregg.
And then you see the discussion going, and it's on the position of the base runner whether you get 1 and 1 on this, and they say no. Here's the play.
Sinking fastball. See how Walk just does slow it down. Now Bell has to re-change direction and go after a sliding Dykstra on the inside half of the diamond. Nice play by Lenny. Then look at the off-balance throw by Bell, and ball goes way over Young's head. One hops into the crowd.
And the ball then goes into the stands. You see this fan will knock it back. Great play by Dykstra to avoid the tag. And then Bell just throws out of control. It's a terrible play on his part. And he's lucky it wasn't worse. And we mentioned the Pirates don't make many errors. They're going to call it a fielder's choice and an error on Bell. His first error of the year, and only the second Pirate error in 90-some innings. There's Jim Leland looking on, who came out to argue that the Phillies should not have been allowed to have that run score, and he won the argument. So give Morandini just a fielder's choice and an error on Bell. They're walking Kruk intentionally. Hollins is going to come up.
Well, when you know you're playing good baseball, Chris, you get the breaks, and the Phillies tonight have gotten 3 of them. And luckily to be tied 1-1. One of them was McClendon's over the throw of the cutoff man, allowing the runner to go into second. And Lonnie Smith on a fly ball down the left field line. A little collision with the fan and the fence. Jumped too soon, dropped the ball. Walk did a great job of getting out of that inning, only giving up 1 run. And here now the Phillies have runners in scoring position with only 1 out. Have a chance to go ahead.
And Dave Hollins, 419 with runners in scoring position. breaking ball, ball one low. He has walked, struck out, single to right. 1-1 in the 7th. The Phillies have them loaded for the second straight inning. Last inning they had them loaded with nobody out, and they wound up with 1 run. Here there is 1 out. Dalton on deck. Bob Walk will work from the windup. Hollins fouls it away left side, now to play. Walk will try and sink that ball away and get a double play. Hollins trying to go the other way with it. Lonnie Smith very deep in left field, playing over towards left center. Andy Van Slyke shading him towards right center. And McClendon straight away in right. Good thrower in Van Slyke in center. Hollins fouls it off. The Fanatic makes a great play on the dugout. What a play by the Fanatic. The crowd loved that.
You gotta love that one. Dave Freeman, watch his play, pitch inside, and a ball. Hollins goes down and after it.
Good to his left, huh?
Not bad.
1-2 to Hollins. Hard ground ball. They're going to come home with it. It's a high throw. Did Slot get him? Yeah. And Lenny Dykstra throws his helmet. He can't believe that Slot made the tag on him. Boy, we have had some night here. So he's out. The bases are still loaded. A high throw from Young, the first baseman, and Slot somehow got the tag on him, says Greg Bonin. There are 2 outs, and they're still loaded.
Well, Jim Fregosi did the right thing. He quickly rushed out there to save his center fielder because you don't want to get thrown out of the game. Dykstra came very close when he tossed his helmet. And Fregosi quickly out there to take the pressure off Dykstra to find out what happened. We'll show you the replay. But the Phillies very precariously getting Dykstra away from the umpires. The throw is way high and up the third base side. We'll see if Slot tags him. Dykstra said no. Can't tell by that one.
Can't tell on that end. Bonas said he had perfect position, and he said yes immediately. And now Slot broke his mask on the play. He's back in the dugout. And you see Dykstra go after Bonas, and Fregosi, as Jay said, went out to get him away from him.
Sure, that's what you got to do. You don't want Dykstra out of the game in this situation. And quickly, John Vukovich followed suit, went out and grabbed Dykstra and kept him away from Greg Bonin.
Showing a lot of patience with Bob Walk.
Yes, he has.
Darren Dalton will now bat with him loaded. There's nowhere to put him. He's lined out twice and walked. Slot trying to fix his mask, which he fired away, went all the way over to the Phillies dugout. He looked like he broke the strap on it.
Well, Slot was setting himself up that he was going to get a routine throw and then go back to first to try and get the double play, and the throw way wild and high up the third base side. Slot did a good job of just catching the ball.
Now Bonan's trying to fix his mask for him. I mean, they know how to fix masks, and he did. He got it. Nice going, Greg. Is that all right? Yeah, okay. How'd I do? All right, so here we go to Dalton.
I'll say one thing. Walker's been dodging a few bullets. We'll see the play one more time. Slot with a fine catch coming down. And watch the glove hand go and try, and we just can't tell if he's tagged or not. It's very inconclusive there, but Greg Bonin right there at home plate made the call.
At perfect position. Dalton the batter. Here's the pitch to Darren. It is low, ball 1. Dalton tonight, as we mentioned, 0 for 2. Runners in scoring position, hitting at 227 with 9 runs batted in. Hollins hit that ball hard, but he hit it right at Young. Still tied at 1 in the 7th. Another good game here tonight. Outside 2-0, and Walk's going to have to pitch to him sooner or later. They're loaded, and Chamberlain is on deck. And nowhere to put Dalton.
Walk, the consummate nibbler, in and out, low, up and in, moving everything in and out of the strike zone. In this situation, partner, do you let Darren swing away 3-0?
No. Take it.
Boy, I'd be chomping at the bit to get a hack at this one, because you know it's going to be right down center city.
On the outside corner.
How about that?
He's even nibbling 3-0.
3-0, and he puts one on the outside corner on the black.
That's why you don't want to swing 3-0 in this guy. 3 balls and 1 strike to Dalton. Fly ball, deep right center field. Back goes Van Slyke. Hits a grand slam home run. Darren Dalton hits a slam, and the Phillies take a 5-1 lead. They've hit 2 grand slams in 2 games.
Well, we don't have to tell you about it. All you have to do is listen. And while you're listening, Chinto just donated another $200 to the Child Guidance Clinic by that grand slam home run by Darren Dalton. Home run number 7.
Curtain ball time.
Yes, sir, and he deserves it. Walk tried to get that 3-1 pitch on the inside part of the plate, and he missed. So the Child Guidance Clinic is the recipient of another $200 by Chinto. Watch the pitch. He wants it inside. It's 3-1. It comes back out over the plate, and the crowd erupts.
Boy, what a roll this club is on. Darren Dalton, a grand slam. And just like that, it's 5-1, and here's Chamberlain. That's right. I guess that's why Fergusi figured, well, I'll let him swing 3-1. We'll make him take 3-0. Boy, does this place puzzle. There's a long drive to left field, but it'll stay in the park. Chamberlain got that one on the end of the bat, and Ronnie Smith grabs it. What an inning for the Phillies. 4 runs. Just 2 hits. 1 error. And Darren Dalton, with this swing of the bat right here, makes sure nobody is left on base.
This is your world, genuine and true. You're the one who keeps coming through, 'cause you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your. Proud to be your bud.
The new Lexus GS Luxury Performance Sedan. It not only corners better than the BMW 535i, but it rides smoother. Of course, if you still insist on feeling every pebble in the road, be our guest. See the GS at your Lexus dealer. The price is within reach, too.
What's new at Mobile? Let's take a look.
Introducing new Mobile Super Plus detergent gasoline. It still cleans fuel injectors and intake valves.
Now it helps keep the very heart of your engine cleaner. Down here, the cylinders and pistons.
So come down to the Big Red O and drive your engine clean with new Mobile Super Plus, the detergent gasoline.
Well, here's a summary on this ball game. The Phillies coming up with 1 in the 6th, and then Darren Dalton with a great slam home run in the 7th inning. Yesterday it was in the 8th. Today it's in the 7th. 5-1 Phils. Danny Jackson pitching 7 strong innings. Jim Fergusi let him bat for himself in that inning. And now he goes out to pitch the 8th with a 4-run lead. Eisenreich moves into the game. Jim will play right field. He will bat 8th, and Juan Bell, the shortstop now, will hit 6th. And John Wayner will now bat for Bob Walk, who's finished for the evening. Here's Wayner at 067, the Pittsburgh native.
6'3", 205, a little bit over a year in the big leagues.
And Jim Leland had 3 left-handers in the bullpen, and he let Bob Walk pitch to Darren Dalton, and Darren Dalton made him pay for it. I mentioned their bullpen might just be worn out from that weekend series that they had with the Expos. And that's something I'm sure they'll ask Leland about gently afterwards. There is Jim Leland, who's as good a manager as there is in the league.
Walk did a pretty good job of dodging some bullets the inning before, so.
Yeah, with 3 left-handers in that pen, though, you don't think he'd let Dalton hit off him, and he did. And he hit the grand slam. Now he has Robertson up. That's Rich Robertson, a rookie. He also has Denny Nagel and Dennis Moeller. 2 of them are very young. Moeller in Robertson. Pitch to Wainer is inside, ball 4. So Jackson a leadoff walk to the pinch hitter John Wainer, and that'll bring up Lonnie Smith, and that'll get him throwing in the Phillies bullpen with left-hander David West up. Phillies Dream Week time again. Don't forget, you can come down to Florida, meet everybody. A lot of good people come down there. People you know, Johnstone, Luzinski, Taylor, Tacolby, Boa, and you for a full week of fun. Just call 938-1200. Make that call, and we'll see you in Florida next year. Spots are filling up rapidly, so when you get a chance, make that call as soon as you can and don't miss out on Dream Week. Lonnie Smith is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts.
Boy, what a blast by Dalton. Send this crowd into an ecstatic uproar.
Sound a little bit like yesterday. There just aren't as many people here. And it was 1 inning later yesterday. By the way, that's grand slam number 4 for Dalton. Here's a mile-high pop-up by Lonnie Smith. Kruk has room and grabs it one away.
Well, that was really up there. Kruk kind of double-step, a little staggering effect there at the end. The ball started to come down, tail back as the wind got it a little bit towards the infield. John stayed right with it. By the way, if you folks are out watching this game in a bar, you know you can go right home tomorrow, pick up the phone and call Prism and watch it in your own home. Help root the Phillies on to victory this year and all the way home.
Jay Bell, the batter. By the way, that error by Bell last inning, none of the runs were unearned. They're all earned on Bob Walk. His final line is 7 innings, 7 hits, 5 earnings, 5 walks, 1 of them intentional, and 3 strikeouts.
And you know, you start looking at the walks. Jackson with only 2 walks. Walk with 5. So there's a difference in the game right there.
Fouled away. Well, some strange plays in that inning, too, as Dykstra dodged the tag at second, was not able to dodge the tag at home plate, according to Greg Bonan. That kept him loaded. And for once, there was no place to put Dalton. I mean, they keep pitching around him all the time in those situations, and they couldn't pitch around him tonight. And he made him pay. There's Kruk playing off Wainer at first with a 4-run Phillies lead. Darren Dalton, by the way, his RBI total is now an even 20 with his 7th home run in the year. There's Dutch. You know, he hit some balls to left field tonight, which is a good sign for him when he starts to do that. And then he pulled that grand slam. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Strikeout number 6 for Danny Jackson, 2 down.
Jackson with a new breath of life. Watch this pitch. Got some good pop on a slider. The ball was up in the strike zone. Bell went after it, didn't even foul it. Normally, when you get a high slider in that area, that's got hit me all over. But Jackson really put some pop on that one.
Here's a pitch to Van Slyke, and it is on the outside corner of the strike. Danny Jackson's last complete game was in 1989 when he was with Cincinnati. He has now pitched 7 2/3 innings tonight. The Phillies do have the bullpen up with David West. It's not a save situation with a 4-run lead. In the dirt, and a good block by Dalton. Van Slyke wants Bonan to look at the baseball. There are the save leaders. Mitch Williams leads the league with 13. Breaking ball misses. 29,712. Good crowd here on a Monday night. Probably had a good walk-up crowd on a beautiful night for baseball, and they have been rewarded with a heck of a game so far. There's the crowd here at the Vet. Phillies drawing 117,000 plus over the weekend with St. Louis. Fly ball left center field. It's playable. Dykstra to his right at the warning track. Lenny runs it down, and Danny Jackson has pitched 8 innings. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left to the bottom of the 8th. 5-1 Phils.
Ford dealers know some problems can't be diagnosed in the shop, so they have a unique traveling companion, the Portable Vehicle Analyzer. It records engine data in ways no human eyes and ears can.
then it tells us what's wrong so it can be serviced right the first time. Quality Care, where the quality continues.
With 5 of the top 10 selling cars and trucks in America, quality care and service can only be found at your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
Okay, panel. How can you recognize the genuine Yellow Pages?
It has a yellow cover.
Good.
It says Belle of Pennsylvania on the front.
Right.
It has more choices inside.
Yes! That's how you tell a genuine article from mere imitators. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
The genuine Belle of Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. 9 out of 10 use it. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic Company.
You probably know Danny Glover best as Mel Gibson's partner in Lethal Weapon 1, 2, and 3. But did you know he co-starred with the Crying Game's Forrest Whitaker in the acclaimed comedy A Rage in Harlem? Did you know he starred in and helped produce the drama To Sleep with Anger? Did you see him with Kevin Kline and Oscar nominee Mary McDonnell in Grand Canyon? And did you realize that these 4 movies, Lethal Weapon 3, A Rage in Harlem, To Sleep with Anger, and Grand Canyon, are on Prism this month? Danny Glover's best work shines during May Days on Prism. Check it out.
We'll take another shot for you at Darren Dalton's grand slam home run. Look at this. The 3-1 pitch. Watch the center fielder Van Slyke just stop running. He knows. And the crowd just goes crazy. Phillies now with a 4-run lead as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. And Rich Robertson is now on the mound, the left-hander for the Pirates.
6'4", 175-pounder out of Natchitoches, Texas. He was selected by the Pirates in the 9th round of the June 1990 free agent draft. He made his major league debut on the 30th of April at Houston. Recall on the 25th of April from Buffalo when John Candelaria was put on the DL. 0-1 in 3 starts for Buffalo. Hey, tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, tune in for the wildest hour of sports talk on television as Angelo and company gather for another unforgettable edition of the Great Sports Debate. They may be talking about the Phillies on that show. It's more May Days madness with Phillies Fab 4 tomorrow night on Prism. Don't miss it. And then our game will be on at 7:30. Larry Rosen will have his pregame show at 7 o'clock. A lot of sports talk tomorrow night on Prism. Here's Robertson, who Jay said is herky-jerky. That's an understatement. It looked like the leg landed before the ball was released.
He's just had a cup of coffee and some minor league stops. Started, as you said, in the 90s. This fastball is way inside. Last year, he's in Salem, was 3-0. They brought him up to the Carolina club, where he was 6-7. In 124 innings, he gave up 127 hits, struck out 107.
Eisenreich is on deck as Milt Thompson bats, and then Danny Jackson due to hit. And we'll see if Jim Fregosi gives him a shot at a complete game. There is Eisenreich, who came into the game in the 7th. Nope, there's Pete Incaviglia, who looks like he's going to bat for Jackson. Well, Danny will be finished after 8 strong innings tonight. Gave the Phillies a heck of an effort until they could catch up and go ahead. 3-1 on Milt Thompson. Foul on third base side. That was quite a 7th inning with all the umpire arguments going on. Had several of them. And then climaxed by Darren Dalton slam to right center. No action in the bullpen, although West is ready. He's thrown a lot if he wants to come, if they want him to come in.
I'm sure Jim Leland would like to reconsider his choices in that last inning. Sometimes that's what makes him or breaks a manager. You got to go with your starter. Jim Fregosi has done it in the last couple of games, and it's paid off for him. And the Phillies weren't exactly tagging Walker either.
Here's a pitch to Thompson, and he swings and fouls it in and out of the glove of Slaw. I remember Jim Leland in a game here last year. He wound up winning the game, but he didn't use his bullpen late, and he said sometimes you have to know how to lose a game when your bullpen's tired. Now, whether that came into play tonight, I have no idea. But it just seems strange he didn't use one of those guys.
Well, he has a lot of confidence in Bob Walker. Bob's been doing the job for him. His last outing against Atlanta, he went a good 7 strong innings and picked up a victory. So he had to have confidence in his starter, and he did, and he paid for it.
Here's Eisenreich. Jim with his first at-bat in the ballgame. Eisenreich has just been a very steady player for the Phillies all year. See his numbers at .371 with 7 runs batted in. Rich Robertson. Eisenreich bunts for a base hit and bunts it foul. Incaviglia moves into the on-deck circle, as you saw earlier. He will bat for Jackson. There is Incaviglia. See Eisenreich trying to drag this ball and surprise him with a bunt.
And usually on the drag bunt, you're a little bit out front of the box. This is just before you get out of the batter's box. You get that bat and you pull the ball with you. But Jim kind of stayed and tried to push it down first base line. Eisenreich hitting in Duncan's spot. Breaking ball misses. Now he appears to be sacrificing now. With Incaviglia on deck. Maybe he was trying to sacrifice in that other pitch and was kind of just bailing a little bit. Yeah, that was not the classic sacrifice stance. Guy with a herky-jerky motion from the left side can do that to some left-handed batters. Nobody up in the Pittsburgh bullpen. And Robertson moves over to first. Bill Thompson will lead off base runner here in the 8th inning. Phillies 5-7-0. Pirates 1-4-1. Phillies trying to win again and go 23-7 and 14-3 at home. Eisenreich around to bunt again, takes a breaking ball outside, ball 2. Larry Boa. You know what those signs were? It means hurry up. Sheena's got the hot chocolate on tonight. There goes Thompson, and it's a hit and run. And he fouls it back. So they took the bunt off, went to play hit and run. And Eisenreich fouls the pitch off 2-2. Thompson will go back to first. And now Boa goes through the signs again. That probably means you're on your own. Very difficult to determine how to run on this young pitcher when people haven't seen him. So you almost have to do it as this one's bounced to Kevin Young, foul. So Thompson over at first base watching the herky-jerky motion of Robertson. And you almost have to go pitch by pitch. What base runners look for from a left-hander, and most base runners will tell you that they like to steal off left-handers because they're facing you, is that front foot, which would be the right foot. When the front foot gets behind the pitching rubber, then you can go. But most crafty left-handed pitchers will bring that right foot up even with the pitching rubber. Then you can either go to first or go home. So the base runner then has to wait to see which way the pitcher's, what direction he's going to take. Eisenreich swings and misses at a breaking ball. So Robertson gets a strikeout. Looked like he pulled off on that one a little bit. Robertson with the big breaking ball. Eisenreich just a little bit out in front of it. You can see his balance and his weight is going way forward, and the pitch is on the outer part of the plate. And here comes Incaviglia batting for Danny Jackson, who did a great job tonight. 8 strong innings for Jackson. Incaviglia batting at .242. You see, with 3 homers and 14 runs batted in. As a pinch hitter, he's 2 for 5 with 1 RBI. Pete Incaviglia batting for Danny Jackson with Lenny Dykstra on deck. And we'll see if Thompson thinks about running. They're playing Incaviglia as a full hitter, of course. And the pitch is low, ball 1. Carlos Garcia, the second baseman, over near the bag. You haven't seen Incaviglia for a few days. He shaved that mustache off the other night. Yeah, it looks a little different. He really looks different. Here's what those he massive, did against the Pirates last year. Those massive forearms he has. Had a couple of buildings for breakfast this morning. Incaviglia way out in front of him, looked like a changeup. 1 ball and 1 strike to Pete. There's those blacksmith arms of his. That's why I can sympathize with Jim Eisenreich. When you come off the bench and you're facing a herky-jerky left-hander like Robertson you've never seen before, you have no idea what he's pitching. It really throws your timing off. Chop up the middle. Tough play for Bell. He has it, can't make a play. It'll be a base hit. Incaviglia. Thompson stays at second base. Pete Incaviglia gets a pinch hit, and the Phillies have 2 on for Dykstra. That's one of those do-or-die plays when the shortstop playing way deep, because Incaviglia hits the heck out of the ball. Really has to come in and try to make that play barehanded, but because the ball took a funny hop off the turf and bounced high, Bell had to try and grab it with the glove, then throw on the run, and couldn't hold on to it. So that'll bring up Dykstra. The guy that used to make that play that was unbelievable, Mike Schmidt, would come in and make that one-handed play on those high hoppers and then make a perfect throw for first baseman.
I think he's getting good at it is Hollins. That's the play Dave Hollins makes the best, is that charge play from third. Lenny Dykstra, the batter, with an infield hit. He is 1 for 3 with a walk tonight. 2 on and 1 out. Low and in the dirt, blocked by Slot. Thompson at second and Caviglia on at first. That was hit number 8 for the Phillies. The line on Danny Jackson. 8 innings, 4 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts as we see Thompson on at second base and in Caviglia at first. Hard ground ball right at Garcia. That's a double play ball. And they get Dykstra hit it right on the nose, but right at the second baseman. 4-6-3 on the double play. In the inning, no runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left. To the ninth, 5-1 Phils.
In a game rich with traditions, Sherwin-Williams has created one of its own by preserving and protecting the national shrines of our national pastime. This is the paint of the pros. And it's the choice of millions of fans at home. And while your town may not have a big league ballpark in it, it does have a big league paint store. The pros know. Ask Sherwin-Williams.
For the first time ever, the expansion Florida Marlins come to the Fed Thursday, June 17th and Friday, June 18th. Then the Upper Deck Heroes play Saturday, June 19th before the Marlins game. And it's a free vintage 1933 baseball cap for all men, Sunday, June 20th at 1:35. Order your tickets in advance. Call 463-1000.
Did you know Texaco puts System 3 in every grade of gasoline?
System 3 gets high marks in every grade, which is a lot better than I ever did.
My dad says Texaco puts System 3 in every grade. I'm in the 4th grade.
Of course. That's why I always fill up with System 3. What do I look like? Don't say it.
Visit your Texaco station.
I can get the tires rotated, the car lubed, and still get home in time for the game.
Mow the lawn.
For unbeatable System 3 gasolines and so much more.
Mow the lawn.
Mow the lawn.
Let's check out the National League scoreboard. Cincinnati over the Padres by a run in the 8th. That's a shutout for Brett Saberhagen, now 3-3. They go 2-2 with Florida. Chicago winning at home over the Dodgers 6-1. Atlanta 2, Houston 1 there in the 8th. And Colorado 4, San Francisco 1. St. Louis and Montreal are not scheduled tonight. In the American League, they're in the 10th at Detroit, 1-1. The Yankees in Detroit, same thing. Boston at Baltimore, they're in the 8th. Top of the first inning, Texas at Oakland. That's Charlie Lebrand and Ron Darling. Minnesota at California. They're just underway. Willie Banks for the Twins. John Farrell for California. And Alex Fernandez leads Seattle 1-0 for the White Sox against Mike Hampton. Part of the crowd of 29,700 looking on tonight. And here is David West, the left-hander. What a job he's done out of the Phillies bullpen. Look at those numbers.
And has the best strikeouts per inning ratio on the club, 19 Ks in just 13 and 2/3 innings. So David West, after a troubled spring training, coming into the season, really pinpointing those darts, putting the ball exactly where he wants.
Hard fastball, hard slider from David West, and he'll face Jeff King, Lloyd McClendon, and Kevin Young as he'll try and close this one out for the Phillies and Danny Jackson. 4-run lead, not a save situation for West. Sails outside, ball 1. King is 0 for 3 tonight with a strikeout.
You know, it's not a save situation, but the Phillies bullpen has just done an outstanding job. They have an 8-0 record with 14 saves and 17 opportunities. So they've done their end of the market.
Ball 2 high. West hasn't pitched for a while. Last time, let's see, he has, well, we gave you the total numbers on him. I thought that was on here when he pitched last, but it's been a while. I got it in my little book here. Here's the next pitch to King. And it's over for a strike. David West's last outing was on the 7th of this month. Pitched a 1/3 of an inning. Prior to that, he had pitched on the 5th, 1 inning. So he needs a little bit of work, and Jim Fregosi getting him into a game, and he pops it up to second base. And King is retired for the first down. That'll bring up McClendon 2 for 3. How about tomorrow night? If you can't make it out to the ballpark, tune in. You'll see the Phillies and the Pirates. Dave Otto, a left-hander who's been in the American League. You haven't seen him yet. He'll be opposed by Ben Rivera, who got some work in Florida last week for the Phillies. There's big Bienvenido.
He looks kind of happy, doesn't he?
He's always relaxed, Ben. Nothing bothers him.
Well, when you're 6'9" and 300 pounds, nothing should bother you.
Big smile.
Sure, happy-go-lucky.
1 ball and no strikes with 1 out in the 9th. Phillies trying to win again. Fouled away. They are on quite a roll right now, to say the least. I mean, they're 13-3 at home, 22-7 overall.
Remember in 1976 when the Phillies only lost 19 games at home? Unbelievable.
Yeah, you remember that. You were a big part of that. Next pitch to McClendon is a strike call. If the Phillies win this game tonight, it would give them their best ever record after 30 games in the history of the franchise.
Well, he got a pretty good shot.
1-2. He struck him out. Chased the bad ball. And David West, as Jay mentioned, he gets a lot of strikeouts. He gets his first one. Strikeout number 7 in the game for Phil's pitching 2 outs.
West has a good running fastball there. You see the ball up in the strike zone taking off. When the hitter sees that ball come out of the pitcher's hand, he thinks it's going to be a strike. The ball just does tail out of the strike zone. That might have been a ball up in the strike zone, maybe even a ball. But West has got good velocity tonight. You can see that one right there.
The crowd's not even standing tonight.
Oh.
They're getting used to this stuff. They're just filing out. Oh, another win. 1 ball, no strikes. And that's over for a strike, 1-1. Yeah, they're starting to think maybe they have to get Mitch out there to be on their feet in this situation. Just kind of taking, well,
another
get
win.
him out here. Go home. Low and outside, 2-1. This is one wasn't dramatic enough tonight. Grand slam for Dalton in the 7th inning, breaking a 1-1 tie. 5-1 Phils, 2 outs in the 9th. Low ball 3-1. The on-deck hitter is Don Slott. There he is.
I wonder where all those critics are that were bashing Lee Thomas for making all these deals before the season started.
He walked him, ball 4.
I wonder if they'll own up to some of that stuff that they said in the papers, where Phillies didn't go out after any big name players. You know, why'd they go after Thompson and Incaviglia? Why'd they get David West?
This is Jay Johnstone saying these things, folks.
I wonder where those critics are.
He's kind of happy.
I don't think he was one of those critics. But
no.
Well, you know, I hope those guys that were bashing Lee Thomas kind of own up to themselves a little bit. Let's see if they do.
1 for 3 for Don Slott. And the pitch is on the outside corner for a strike.
Everybody talked, Chris, about getting Barry Bonds or Greg Maddux or one of those high priority type guys. I think the Phillies did pretty good.
Well, it's hard to argue with the results right now.
I could say so. I just want to see if those critics will come forward out there.
No balls and 1 strike to Don Slott. Check swing, it's over for a strike, and it's 0-2 to Slott. Now they're going to get up. They took a base runner. Here they go. All right.
That was that last cup of coffee. Hadn't kicked in yet.
There we go. 0-2 to Sluggo Slott. Here's the pitch. Oh, ball 1. Phillies, of course, not holding Kevin Young on at first with 2 outs and a 4-run lead. There is Young. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Don Slott. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul back.
Well, that ball really had some movement on it. You can tell West humping up with the fans excited, standing up, cheering on for that last strike. West threw the heck out of that ball, and Slott took a swing at it, but that ball moved about 12, 13 inches.
There we go with everybody on their feet. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Slott. David West in the dirt, 2-2.
It's going to look like a wave if they keep doing this. Up, down, up, down, up, down.
There's Jim Fregosi. The thing that he likes best about that is not anybody talking about it. He does such a good job with this team, and he just wants to kind of stay in the background. That's his personality. I know Ray Didinger of the Daily News is going to do a big story on him. That'll blow his cover. 2-2. Swing and a foul out of play. Ray said it might be in tomorrow's edition of the Daily News, so might look for that. And if it is by a fine writer on a great guy, it should be a pretty good story.
Well, the big thing about Jim Fregosi, and you know this too, Chris, the fact is he's able to take players and mold them into what he wants and let them go out and play like they want, and still get the point across that this is a team concept, even though it's an individual effort.
Here we go. Swing and a fly ball to center field, and this ought to do it. Lenny Dykstra waits. He grabs it. The Phillies with the best record in the major leagues, 23-7, and their best ever record after 30 games. And what a job by Danny Jackson tonight and Darren Dalton's grand slam.
Well, I guess we are a little happy out there. Dalton, the big hit. 14-3 at home. Phillies, terrific home record. And we'll take a break, and we'll be right back shortly as the Phillies pick up another win here at the Veterans Stadium.